I'll let you know when I see it.
Okay.
Did you hit go live again?
I've got end. That's the only option I have.
Okay. Hold on. Let's see if we're live. We are. Okay.
Okay. Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, Age Boomer and I are discussing the 1978, probably the most perfect superhero movie ever made, Superman, with Christopher Reeve and Gene Hackman and Marlon Brando, who made a lot of money for very little work. How are you tonight, Age Boomer?
I'm very good. Anxious to discuss this wonderful John Williams score. This is my personal favorite John Williams score.
Why is that? Can you put that into words? Or do we need like 2 hours to do it? Which is fine, because we've got 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Why is it my favorite John Williams score? I want to say, in my opinion, it's the most original score, but again, it's one of his earliest ones. I don't know. It feels unique among his scores. I think that's what it is. It's nothing to do with George Lucas or Spielberg. It's its own entity.
It's true.
And it's not true. I don't know. That's a good question, though. Oh, hold on one sec. I got to put a sign on the door. I'll be right back.
Okay. And Big Al Presents is in the house. You staying with us tonight, Big Al? I'm trying to keep up with the chat this week. I did a bad job of that last week. And I'm like waiting for you to speak, but I'm still new to this, so just type. I hope you can stay for the evening.
All right. Sorry about that. I'm back.
That's fine. And we are watching the original theatrical cut from '78 of Superman.
Even the theatrical cut is long.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that long.
And we may want to talk about the pacing of this versus I don't know about this versus maybe Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know, because it don't.
There's no story here for sure.
There is. Oh, thank you, Big Al. Have a super stream, guys. Maybe in and out. That's cool. Thank you for thank you for popping in, though. We appreciate it. Okay. All right.
I think this was the first time today that I actually watched it without TV commercials.
The weirdest thing about Superman the movie is that I swear I know there are 3 legitimate cuts out there. I think there are more. Like I can't help but think what I was watching on TV was different than what I saw, because of course they'll edit stuff out more on the television version. So
they will, and they said originally ABC made it a 2-night event, so they added in an hour extra worth of movie.
Yeah. Now let's see.
I think every time I've seen it, it has been on TV with commercials.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I bought it on Google Movie, whatever it is.
I remember when I was a kid, this one was harder to come by. It was always Superman 2. That was the one they always showed, but I don't know. Maybe it's because Brando demanded royalties from every airing. I don't know. But,
Olive, be quiet, baby. Sorry, Olive.
Is it the same dog each week?
No, Olive's a bully dog.
Oh, I see.
Last week it was 1/5. He's a little 10-pound black dog.
Gotcha. Okay.
If someone walks by the house, Olive will let me know.
Oh, I see.
You about ready to start the movie?
I am.
Wait a couple more minutes.
We can wait a couple more minutes though. But did you mention how much Brando earned for this movie?
Yes. Let me look back at my notes, because I don't want to get this figure wrong, because that would be a crime. $3.7 million to be in the movie, plus 11.75%. I don't know if it was gross or net. I'm gonna go with gross, because if it's net, you can get an accountant to get the net down. Grand total for 1978, $19 million. Adjusted for inflation today, $78 million.
What did Christopher Reeve make? Or maybe do you have those figures?
I think he made the going rate for being in a movie.
And I guess Margot Kidder.
They did not make much money.
Margot Kidder.
Marlon Brando was top bidding. Gene Hackman was number 2. I don't know what Hackman made, but it wasn't $78 million. So,
Yeah, I guess maybe Margot Kidder made the same going rate as Christopher Reeve. I don't know.
yeah.
She had been in movies before this, though. She was in one of my favorite horror movies, Black Christmas. So that's a funny one. I think
Is that
Fan
a
Man did that.
Christmas movie or a horror movie?
It's both, and oddly enough, it was directed by the same man that directed A Christmas Story. You know the one with Ralphie.
Yeah, and the BB gun.
Yeah, and the BB gun. Yeah, it's same
Yes.
director as that, but he directed a Christmas horror movie in the early '70s. So, but anyway, well, I think you want to go ahead and start.
Yeah, we can do that. Big Al says he saw it first weekend of release.
Oh wow!
How old were you, Al? First weekend of release back in '78.
Well, let's see if he answers.
Not quite a teenager, if my math is right.
Oh, I remember. Like I said, this movie I obviously did. I was 1 year old, I think, when this came out. But Reeve paid. Oh, here Big Al says Reeve was paid a mere $250,000 for both Superman and Superman 2. I mean, I'm sure either of us would be happy to get that paycheck regardless.
I'll take that. Hey, that pays off my house and a lot more.
And I'm sure he got residuals too. Oh, he was 13 when he saw this movie.
Okay.
That'd be a cool movie to see at 13, I think, right? I mean, this is one of the big movies of the 70s. I mean, this is right around the time we start to really get those nice big blockbusters. Like we had Star Wars the year before.
Close Encounters the year before.
Yeah, I wonder when Close Encounters was. It was a year before. I don't know what else came out this summer, but
Grease came out.
Oh yeah, Grease. Okay, cool. All right, we'll wait another couple minutes and we'll start the movie. I have a question too. Is there like a preamble in memoriam on your version? Let me
Yes.
see. Okay, all right. So we're just going to start at the beginning then.
Jeffrey.
Okay. Okay. So
Unsworth.
Yep, that's it. Okay.
He was the cinematographer for this, and he died shortly before the film came out. He had also done 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's his other big film that he's known for.
That does not surprise me because some of the space effects in this remind me of stuff out of there. But
yeah, and it's interesting because the producer Ileana Salkind told John Williams to make the beginning of the movie to sound like 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it kind of does.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We all set?
Yeah.
All right. Let's do on my count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Play. There we go.
There's the old-fashioned Warner Brothers logo.
Wow, I feel old now.
That logo used to be on a lot of things. Actually, on the recent Joker movie, they stuck the old Warner Brothers logo on at the beginning.
That's true.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah,
I
somewhat enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
Okay, $2 million for Hackman, according to Big Al.
Okay, not bad.
That's a good payday. I'll take that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like this depiction of Lex Luthor isn't my favorite, but I have to admit I love Gene Hackman in the role, so I forgive it, because Gene Hackman is just so good.
So like this little comic book part right here. This is John Williams' music, but he wrote it with instruments that would have been common to this time period.
Oh, in the 1930s. Cool.
Yes.
So it might be something you might see in an old Hollywood movie from that period. Okay.
Right.
Got the black and white.
And I don't really get this bit right here.
What?
The little Daily Planet cartoon comic
book. I don't know. I think my personal opinion is I think that I should probably know this. I'm probably losing geek cred over this, but I'm assuming that probably Superman Action Comics came out in 1938. That's what that's a reference to, and it's just like, and if you think about it, a lot of these characters like Batman and Superman, they did come out of the Depression,
It's true.
and okay, here we have what I consider to be one of the best credit sequences ever. Okay,
musically, very much so. Yeah.
There we are, Superman. The only other movie I've seen that does this is Meteor.
I haven't seen that.
Uh,
Do I need to?
I it's all right. It's about a giant meteor hitting the Earth, and Sean Connery has to stop it. Okay. Anyway.
Really? Okay.
Yes. Oh. So of course this is the iconic Superman theme. The Superman anthem, I think, is what it's called. Yes.
Yeah, this was one of the last tracks recorded for the film because they were waiting on the special effects to get done.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And what you're hearing is not one take. They took multiple takes and spliced it together for this.
Yeah, I think I read up on that too. I mean, I imagine that this is probably one of the hardest tracks he ever had to compose. Maybe I don't know.
I would feel the pressure. You know, Hans Zimmer said when he was asked to score Man of Steel, he was scared.
Yes, because he had to do make a replacement Superman theme. And it's like I can't do that. It's like making a replacement Star Wars theme.
Zack Snyder told him, just make it sound different. And so he did. And so it is.
I'm sorry. This gets you hyped for the movie listening to this theme. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know,
This was one of the probably like the 5 musical pieces I knew as a child.
Yeah, you probably knew it by heart.
You could run around the yard like this and hum it, and you're flying.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard other Superman themes. Shirley Walker composed one for Superman the Animated Series, and that's a good theme in and of itself, but I don't think anything compares to this. This is up there.
It still kind of comes from this, though. This is like the origin of everything.
Yes, definitely.
And yay, John Williams' name. Back in the 70s, you had to have opening credits. And when George Lucas didn't do this for Star Wars, he got in trouble. They actually fined him a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Then Mario Puzo, who wrote The Godfather, the original draft I think was around 500 pages, if I remember correctly. That's a long script.
That's a long movie. That's 2 movies at least. That's probably 3. Okay.
Maybe they should have done that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, because I know they were going to shoot this and 2 back to back, and then there was the big fight with Richard Donner over I don't know. Richard Donner had a falling out with the producers. I think I'm blaming them in this regard. I think
everybody does.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be cheap and not very nice. So
yeah.
I haven't met them. I don't know them. I'm just going by what I heard.
It's just the impression I get. Yeah.
Now the music here is very ominous. It's not very inviting, but you do have the distant calling trumpet in the distance, which to me invokes Aaron Copland's Fanfare for the Common Man right here with the trumpet coming in.
Oh yeah, definitely.
When you get to Smallville, that's just screams Aaron Copland to me, which is the sound of America, which you need for Superman. He has to sound homegrown, backyard American.
Yeah, Amber Waves of Grain and all that.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Yeah, this is from. Oh, go ahead.
I would say a lot of the scenes shot in Smallville. You've got the farmland and the sunset. It's beautiful, beautifully shot.
Oh yeah.
This is just creepy. I would not want to live here.
When they made Superman the Animated Series, they didn't make Krypton look like this. They made it more inviting because I think they wanted you to feel bad when it got blown up. And okay, but this is from I want to know if I used this guy last week, Craig Lisey, but he did a review, I think, of the soundtrack, and he had some interesting things to say about the planet Krypton. Says Planet Krypton offers a magnificent score highlight which features a full rendering of the Krypton fanfare. A series of shifting low register chords carry us through the black void of space toward the Krypton system sun. a massive red giant. As we reach the red sun, the Straussian fanfare rises, proud in its sensibilities, ascending dramatically upwards on solo trumpet, joined by kindred contrapuntal horns for a powerful exposition, a testament of the pride and grandeur that is Krypton.
I would agree with that. That's
Yeah.
a good description of Krypton.
Oh,
Sound Engraver should do a breakdown on the Krypton theme.
yeah, she could probably do the whole score. I would think there's a lot to unpack here.
You know, I'm thinking the entire score is about an hour and 40 minutes. So you've got 40, 50 minutes with no music in this movie.
Yeah. And this really sounds alien here during this whole scene. But I know if it was John Williams, he wasn't going electronic. He's using real instruments. So I'm just wondering what he's using.
There are some synthesizers in this. Not
there
not
is?
much, but a little bit.
Oh, okay. All right. Because I thought he was finding like real instruments that had a synthesizer sound or something. Because
They were definitely going for a dissonant feel for Krypton.
Yeah.
Parts of it sounds like Logan's Run to me.
Huh.
Yeah, Logan's Run had a weird sound. But speaking about Logan's Run, Jerry Goldsmith, who scored Logan's Run, was supposed to do this, but because the production was running over, he couldn't do it. He ran out of time.
Oh, I see. Like, what else does he say about this? A defiant Zod curses Jor-El and his heirs as muffled drums, trombones, and toiling bells portend death. And you're already hearing that now, as it builds up to that. I love
You hear
Jor-El.
that a lot more in the second one.
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely.
like the Zod theme when he goes to town. You hear the
yeah,
drums.
And I keep wondering, was this ever intended as a Zod theme? Because I don't know if Williams had scored the second one. Would he have just made a different theme for Zod? I don't know, but it works as a Zod theme.
Yeah, well, interesting story about the second one. Donner was replaced. No one was happy. Gene Hackman refused to come back for more shooting. Margot Kidder blasted them in the press. Christopher Reeve was not happy. John Williams sat down to talk to Owen Lester. I think that was the conductor.
No, not Owen Lester.
Sorry.
Sorry. Owen's one of our loyals.
He's one of our people.
Yes. No. I know who you're talking about. Something
Ken
Lester.
Thorne?
No, the director of Superman.
Ken Thorne was the conductor.
Richard Lester.
Richard Lester. Thank you. Sorry, Owen. He had one meeting with him, and there was a fight.
What?
There was a fight that people could hear through the doors. John Williams walked out and said, "I cannot work with this man."
Oh my word!
And I'm like, what the hell happened?
I don't know.
John Williams is not like that. He's the most genial man you will ever meet. And I'm like, what did he do? I'm like, wow. Can I see that in a movie?
I'd like to see that. Maybe
they used all of his music and they just reworked it. So
I see. Yeah, I think that's what they ended up doing. Here we go. A rising tide of frenzy strings support the approach of their crystalline prison, which sweeps in and encases them for eternity. A life sentence with no reprieve. A woodwind ascent carries them off to their fate, ending on a dark sustain. This guy knows how to write about soundtracks.
He does.
Now, the interesting thing about Richard Lester, though, Richard Lester was famous for directing A Hard Day's Night, right? The Beatles documentary or mockumentary.
Yes,
and he is credited as the man who invented the music video because of that movie, which is interesting. Wow. So I don't think he was the best pick for Superman. In fact, I argue because I'll defend parts of Superman 3, but then there are parts of Superman 3 that, in my opinion, don't work, and I think it's the stupid humor that's in it. And you can have humor in Superman. I mean, but there's some dumb jokes in Superman 3, which
I listened to like a 45-minute commentary on Superman today. I'm a Marvel guy. I don't know a lot about DC.
Right. I'm more of a DC guy.
Yeah, I need to know a little bit more about Superman. and it was a 45-minute talk about the history of Superman. And he said, comic book wise, Superman 3 is the best Superman movie because it's Superman doing something totally ridiculous. And I was like, huh, that's kind of interesting.
Not that I want to spend time on Superman 3, but I did think it had the best. Well, you know, we won't talk. We'll wait till our Superman 3 rewatch, but that'll never happen. I was going to say, I like the love interest he had in that movie, Lana Lang. I thought that worked, actually.
Yeah, I like her. She's pretty.
Yeah. But here we go.
Now, the costumes here, this was a special fabric from 3M that's got little beads of glass all over it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they would shoot it with a camera projecting white light and at a 45-degree angle with a mirror to give it the glowy effect. That's straight on legit. That's how it photographs. They're not doing anything except photographing it.
It's impressive. I mean, this is 78 because let's face facts, Star Wars comes out a year prior, and that set the benchmark for special effects. So if you're following Star Wars, you better have something that looks impressive. I mean, even this looks impressive to me. It's still a very 70s look, though. You know.
Yeah, it's kind of disco.
Kind of disco, but I like it though. Yeah, it's
got a creep factor to it. It's just, to me, Krypton's just creepy.
I read a book called The Last Days of Krypton, which is all about it's a fiction book. It's all about the final days of Krypton, right? It's about Jor-El, and it explains a lot about why Kryptonian society was so weird. Okay, for starters, they were extremely xenophobic. They did not want to have contact with other alien species. That was one of their problems. So they couldn't reach out for help when the time came where they would need it, you know? And they gave a reason for that was one of their ancestors had like a general in the far past had bought massive weapons of mass destruction from an alien species, and that blew up a bunch of their cities with it. So I think they basically decided we're not, you know, going forward, we're not going to have any dealings with aliens, extraterrestrials. As usual, no one listens to him.
So that's Susanna York. I didn't know who that was. I had to look it up. I'm like, who is that?
I'm trying to think what else she's been in. I know that name sounds familiar. So here we go. So is Brando's hair white at that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you like how Krypton looked in the Zack Snyder film?
No.
No.
It was. I don't know. Did you like it? You maybe you found it look nicer than this. I don't know.
I like color, so
I know you like color. Well, the thing is, yeah, like I said on Superman the Animated Series, it looked prettier. Okay, it looked more like a place you'd want to live. Okay. Here it kind of looks sterile, but I don't know. There's a camp factor to this I appreciate now. Like I remember on Smallville, like when one of the Phantom Zone's aliens is attacking Clark, he's saying, "You're from that ice cube they call a planet," you know, because you know that's the.
It's an ice cube.
Well, it's crystals, you know.
There really is like three musical parts to this film. There's Krypton, then there's Smallville, then there's Metropolis.
Oh, Big Al says, I saw Meteor. It's musical amphetamine.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the score. You know, I'm going to look that up real quick. Who did the score to Meteor? The interesting thing about, I think, Superman and Batman is that they both have tragic origins, but they're tragedies on different scales.
Yeah, they did both lose their parents.
Yeah, except in different ways. This is more, he loses his whole civilization, but then again, he never really knew them. Now, I believe in the special edition, if you ever want to check that out, I think there is more stuff on Krypton. I think there's more stuff with why they're going after Jor-El. And, you know, why he broke the law and all that. I do believe they go into that more. I got so angry though because I remember I got the special edition DVD sets, and I swear every one of those discs ended up dying on me.
How does that happen?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they had disc rots. Sometimes DVD discs are not made well. Like a lot of the early Universal Studios DVDs are not good quality. But I was surprised these ones from Warner Brothers just all. I don't know if I got a bad batch or what was going on with that, but they all kind of went kaput on me. They were stuttering and stuff. So I eventually got this on Blu-ray. And who did the score for? Score for media was done by Lawrence Rosenthal.
Oh, I know him.
Okay, yeah. Yes. In fact, wait a minute. Wait for it. A Meteor was a 1979 movie. It was probably supposed to be a 1979 blockbuster back when they were still banking on disaster movies.
Now, why is that crystal green? I'm sure if Fan Man was here, he could tell us all about it.
It looks to make it look different from the other crystals. That's why it's green.
Well,
I don't know why. There's probably some comic book origin for it.
No music here, only sound effects. And now this scene is, as a child, this was creepy. This was really creepy. Everything's cast in red, and the planet's just falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's a giant solar flare coming for him.
Yeah. What's your timestamp right now on this?
1914.
Okay, I'm about there. Okay. Stupid Xbox controller. You nudge it a little bit. But I like it because you can actually plug a pair of earbuds into it, and I can listen to the movie while talking to you.
Right there. Little tease of the Superman theme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it starts popping in now. This is terrifying.
And the Fortress of Solitude theme kind of popped in when he was pulling out the crystals before he sent them off.
It's funny. I'm not really liking the other Kryptonians to this point, but I feel bad for them as to what's going to happen. You know?
Yeah.
It's pretty. Now, my father was a big Superman fan, but he grew up with the radio show. That was his big thing. Okay.
Wow.
And he used to tell me about the he'd be off. They'd be playing baseball in the in the park, and then he I gotta go home. Why? Superman's gonna start after school every day. You know, it's like, he wouldn't miss it.
That's how I was with G.I. Joe and Transformers.
Yep.
Gotta get home.
Yep. Look at that. I think they were really going for a whole crystal look for all of this. That's what I think a lot of this is about.
I mean, wouldn't that scare you if you were 6 years old watching that?
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm a young Gen X, and you know. Even the family movies were creepy back then, okay? You know, everything was kind of creepy. I mean, what are our big family movies? The Secret of NIMH, remember that?
Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of creepy. The movies like Labyrinth, Dark Crystal. I mean, it's. But yeah, this is terrifying. They're screaming. It's like something out of the Poseidon Adventure. You know, everyone. Actually, I'll say this: you want to do a movie around New Year's time? It's Poseidon Adventure, right?
That's a good New Year's movie.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember who did the score to that, but oh man,
John Williams.
Oh, there you go. That's right, John Williams.
Poseidon Adventure, Towering Inferno, and Earthquake. Now, the thing with the Journey to Earth, I think that's the title in the original LP. It's exposition done well. He has a reason to be talking, and he just lays out a bunch of history as he floats through the universe.
Yes.
And he's growing a little bit.
Is that the part you're on?
Yeah.
Oh.
We're 22 minutes, 28 seconds.
Okay.
Is yours a little off?
Mine's a little off, and I swear there are multiple cuts of this damn. Okay, this stupid thing. Hold on. All right, let's do Trip to Earth. Let me recite it to you. All right. Okay. Let's see. For Trip to Earth, I have. It's a pretty short one, but it goes. Trip to Earth is a remarkable piece which showcases Williams' compositional gifts. We see the ark flying across the vast expanse of space for the long journey to Earth. Williams' use of the scherzo in film is well known, and he uses the form here, offering classic flight music. Trilling woodwinds, lyrical violins, and syncopated horns propel the ark through space. Williams rotates the rhythms and instruments to and fro in ever-shifting patterns of string ostinati, woodwind trilling, and harp glissandi, which evoke a lightness of being for our little passenger. Lightness of being for our little passenger. Hope I didn't butcher some of those instrument names. Okay.
No more than what I would.
All right.
So he just crash landed on Earth.
Okay.
Are you there?
Hold on. I'll get there. I am going to murder whoever labels these things because I know this is not the special edition. All right. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Are you at the Kents yet?
Yeah, they're looking at the crater right now.
Great. Okay.
And baby Superman's climbing out.
So reminds me of that time. Remember Professor Geek? He did the director's cut of Spider-Man 2. We were all following along with us with the director. Yeah, the director's cut of Spider-Man 2. We were all following along with the theatrical version. Okay, here we go.
You know, I don't remember the last time in a major movie someone mentioned God. And Martha Kent's talking about how she's prayed and prayed for God to send them a child.
Yeah, you don't see it as much these days, unfortunately. Yeah, it's I know the Kents went to church because they mentioned it on Superman the Animated Series. But trying to think. We had Man of Steel, though. Well, we won't talk about Man of Steel here, maybe. Okay. Now, I imagine the Kents are older and they could never have a child, probably. Okay, and then yes, it's
not everybody can. It's just
yeah, it just happens. Yeah, but then they, he falls from the sky. So I know one guy when he was one man who was defending the study of comics at university level was detailing. The origin story of Moses and says, see, that's Superman, because he arrives in the basket. It's such a ship. Yeah.
He's sent away and he's raised by others and then he comes back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And then you get the low Superman theme as he lifts up the truck. And then we jump ahead in time to high school.
Yep.
I think the whole Smallville bit's about 20 minutes in length, but to me, that's the heart of the entire movie is in Smallville.
Yeah, well, this is where he comes from. I mean, he doesn't come from the big city. He comes from the heart, the breadbasket of America, the heart of America, right here.
Yeah. Yeah, if you take this out, you lose the film. And that's Lana Lang, right?
That is Lana Lang. She's got the red hair. Now she will be played by Annette O'Toole in Superman 3. If people count that one, some people want to just forget that one exists. But I'm trying to think. I swear there are different cuts of this movie.
It's amazing what like an extra 10 seconds here and there can do.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's let's see here. Because I believe I have a different cut of the movie than you do, but it's not the special edition, so I don't know what's going on here. But he just got angry and threw the pom poms down, and they're
he's
driving
about
off.
to kick
Okay.
the
Okay, yeah. All right, so we're at the same spot. Okay, basically now. Because I noticed mine was like 130 something minutes, and I know that the special edition is 150. So I don't know. That's interesting that I have yet another different cut of this movie.
Then
Look
with
at
the train here, you got the little plucking on the strings, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm. I think this is kind of a playful theme.
Now that's like Lois Lane on the train, right? That's in one of the versions.
Yes.
Okay. Make sure I didn't think that up on my own.
Let me see if anything happens. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it's not in this version, but yeah, I think in the special edition, she goes, "I saw a man running." Oh, Lois.
Yeah.
I think it's something like that. It's probably not the exact line, but it's like you have a writer's imagination, or they say something like that. I don't know. Yeah, it's supposed to be a young Lois Lane there. Oh, here it is.
So Superman's about 10 years older than Lois Lane, you think?
I think so. Lois Lane, you have a writer's gift for imagination. Well, he's in high school here, so it could be like 6 years older, maybe. That's probably about right. She looked like she was 10 or 11. He's probably 17 or something.
I do like that car.
Yes.
I would take that car.
And of course, we have Bill Haley in his comments playing over it. You know, the Rock Around the Clock song?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That dates at 1950s, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is in the 50s, yeah. If this becomes a problem, I remember on Superman the Animated Series when they flash back to his high school, it was in the 70s. You know? Because they were talking about Star Wars, you know?
I think you lose some wholesomeness in the 70s. You've got it in the 50s.
It doesn't work, yeah. I mean, maybe... Yeah, it's... yeah, I don't...
This is the only conversation between them in the entire film.
Yeah. It's a good conversation, though.
It is. It is. It's just the meat of the movie right here.
I liked what Professor Geek said about what did he say about Jonathan Kent? He says that the difference between him and the Kevin Costner Jonathan Kent is that the fearful Jonathan Kent is what the Kevin Costner was is in Man of Steel, but this one. You know, it's like, you know, we used to be worried authorities would come and take you away, but then you get older and then you get older and you start to see things differently, and that's
the flute here is very lovely.
Mm-hmm.
This is very, very Copeland-esque. Now, John Williams is going to like very subtly sneak in a Darius area here in a couple of seconds.
Oh.
It's just very subtle with a bell tolling. Here it comes.
Mm-hmm.
Strings are still very lovely and soft. right there, the bell. The Dearest Harry comes in. And musically, you know he's gone.
Yeah.
You skip the bell twice. Sorry, 3 times.
Uh-huh.
4. Clark
Yep.
runs out. You get the Leaving Home theme on the trumpets, but low trumpets. And it just bleeds right into the funeral. And it's going to bleed right into him leaving home. But when he comes up here in a second and he says, you know, with all my powers and all my abilities, I couldn't save him.
Mm-hmm.
That's very important lesson for Superman, because he knows there are limits to life, and life has value because you have limits.
Yeah. And I think another point is too, like they'll say, oh, he you know, like I've heard Lex Luthor refer to him as like a god or something, and you know that's not what he is. You know, I've always seen him as a farm boy from Kansas that just happened to get all these happens to have all these superpowers. That's what he is. He's still a man. That's what I always see him as.
Because if he wasn't a man, he wouldn't have turned back the world at the end of the movie.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, he did that for Lois because he loves Lois, and he's like,
yeah,
you know, whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it this time. The low brass here is spot on. The brass working with the strings.
Mm-hmm.
God bless the London Symphony Orchestra.
Mm-hmm. Is this him and his mother leaving the funeral?
Yeah. Now he's in his bed and the radio's going off. That's a pretty cool radio.
Oh yeah.
And the crystal, musically, it calls back to Krypton. Every time you see the crystal, it goes back to the Krypton music. It's dissident, sounds alien, creepy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm drawn to this. I don't know why. I don't know what it's going to do.
I remember, yeah, like even on Smallville, for the first few seasons, they were always kind of suspicious of anything Kryptonian or Krypton or where he came from. Like they didn't know if Jor-El was an enemy that they should worry about. You know, I mean,
I never saw Smallville. I know it was on for what, like 11 or 12 years.
You know, it's. You know, we shouldn't. I don't want to waste this. I don't want to waste the stream talking about Smallville. That will, you'll get me talking for hours. But it's. I will say one thing. One thing we can appreciate here. The last episode of Smallville, when he finally puts the suit on, they have the John Williams theme play.
Really?
I was very happy about that. Yes, they finally put it on the series. It was a nice triumphant moment. So good. I'm glad they did that in the last scene. So you have the part where he's picking up the green crystal, or uncovering it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
The theme grows a little bit stronger. Trumpets grow. So my grandparents had a barn, and I would go to the barn. I'd be like, I wonder if I can find a green crystal in the barn.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I never did. Look at that sunrise. That is a gorgeous sunrise.
Yeah, my ancestors were farmers, but they kind of lost it during the Depression.
A lot of people did.
Yeah. Oddly enough, it wasn't due to the Dust Bowl, though. It was due to a land deal that went south. But, Cheerios.
This is the Leaving Home track on the original LP.
Uh-huh.
For me, this is musically, this is the high point of the entire film.
Yeah.
You got the flute. She walks Ma Kent walks out in the field, and it's no longer sunrise, it's early morning. So he's been out there for a while. And she's been back in the house for a while thinking like, I need to go talk to my son. And he's like, I have to leave.
Trying to think what other Williams soundtracks I love. I do love the Close Encounters of the Third Kind soundtrack.
God, yes.
Yes.
Oh Lord.
That is one of the best. Oh.
The heart here in this music reminds me a lot of the Cowboys, the quieter parts of the Cowboys, which it's all very Copeland sounding.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that as like, oh, he was copying Aaron Copland. I'm saying that as Aaron Copland defined the sound of America. What does America sound like? Aaron Copland.
The Cowboys.
Cowboys. Superman needs to sound like an American.
Oh yeah.
Hard work. Come from a farm, love your family,
mm-hmm.
Duty, do what you need to do, protect people.
Yeah.
That's the heart of Superman. And it's musically, it's right here. It's not so much the bombastic march. It's this quiet piece right here that's your soul.
I mean, I Professor Geek or somebody posted about an interview with Christopher Reeve, who is Superman to you? And, it's like this big serious question, who is this iconic American figure to you? And you know what Christopher Reeve says? He's a friend.
He's a friend.
He's the friend you expect to find in America. The neighbor that's helping you when your tractor could be stuck or something, stuff like that. And I think he nailed it, and he completely understood what he was supposed to be playing here.
When he hugs his mom, and then the camera kind of pans in and starts to move.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching a clip from J.J. Abrams' Star Trek the other night.
Yeah.
And why is the camera constantly doing this all the damn time? That doesn't moving something around is an action. The conversation they had was very quiet, but it was all heartfelt.
Yeah.
And it's the heart of the film. Hello, Leia Plus Size. Thank you for coming by.
Oh, thank you, Leia Plus Size. I think this is one of the best soundtracks ever. I was 7 when I saw Superman, and I still love it to this day. Yeah, it's it's one of the all-time classic movies in my opinion. I mean, especially from this era. Here we go.
We're getting back to the Krypton music.
Well, this is the one where he's traveling up north, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is. You can almost hear shades of Star Wars in here in a way. I don't know if I had to point to anything, it would remind me of. It's not Star Wars. I'm not saying it's from that, but it's that same otherworldly, fantastic.
The tonality of the music is the same. Yeah.
Like I remember another soundtrack I used to listen to growing up was the Empire Strikes Back soundtrack, because the library had it, so I used to check it out from there all the time. And
oh man, those were the days.
Oh man, that was an expansive score. That was a long score.
The whole movie score.
Yeah.
I wish this entire movie was score. I wish it's 2 hour, 20-minute runtime. I wish it was 2 hours and 15 minutes of score.
Well, I will say this: if you ever end up buying any of the DVDs or Blu-rays of this, they have the isolated film. They have an isolated score track on it.
Really?
Just watch the movie with the score, yeah. Which is always a nice feature. I wish they would put that on more DVDs and Blu-rays, because once in a while you'll get it where they actually will do only the soundtrack, and sometimes I've gotten them where they have just sound effects too. I've gotten those as well. And those are neat features. Like the Alien Blu-ray has a lot of extra different soundtracks you can listen to. And like one of my favorites was the LA Confidential DVD, because that came with an isolated score track on it as well.
That was Jerry Goldsmith too.
That was a great Jerry Goldsmith score. Yeah, definitely.
Was that a good film? I never saw it.
Oh, you've never seen LA Confidential? Mm-hmm. Do you like how Professor Geek was doing noir type movies?
Yeah.
It was like a more modern version of that, except it takes place in the 1950s though. but it was where Russell Crowe got his start in that movie. So did oh, what's his name? Guy Pearce was in that as well. Yeah,
Kim
and,
Basinger, is she in it?
Kim Basinger is in it. Yep.
Okay.
It's a gritty crime movie. They're police detectives, and I don't want to spoil that for you. It's worth watching, and it's also worth the score too.
Now there's an alternate cue for the Fortress of Solitude that's warmer and brassier.
Yeah.
Um,
I was reading about all kinds of alternate cues for tracks on this. I mean, they're
there's
alternate.
a lot. There's a lot to this entire movie, not just the score. Good Lord.
This is a fascinating movie. Like I said, I am eventually going to pick up that because you can also get a Blu-ray set that has the super long movie version, which has all the extra cuts in it, and then it also has the special edition, which many people feel is the definitive version. But and I have no idea which version I'm watching because how long is your version?
2 hours 20 minutes.
Okay.
2 hours 23 minutes. I'm sorry.
Okay, 2 hours 23 minutes.
Now the Superman theme is being teased in the Fortress of Solitude, but it hasn't been full on yet.
No, we're getting hints of it up until now. I think that's on purpose. This is.
John Williams did the same thing in E.T. You don't have the full blown up E.T. theme until the bicycle flies over the moon.
I was very happy with E.T. Remember years ago when they re-released it in theaters, they released it in DVD. I got the special set that came with the book and the DVD, but it also came with the soundtrack CD too. So I was happy about that.
Yeah, I think I've got 3 copies of E.T. I got the original, and then like a expanded score, and then they just redid it for like the whatever anniversary release it was.
Oh, I see.
All you gotta do is just like, hey, look, it's new, Daniel, it's new. I'm like, okay, I'll buy it.
Here we go. You getting Jarrell now? Brando popping out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
So do you live like in a rural area?
No, I live like a street over from City Hall.
Oh, okay, all right. So it must be hearing people on the street and stuff. It's interesting. Here's a note about the different cuts. When Superman was released to VHS in June 1979 by Warner Home Video, it was whittled down from 143 minutes to 127 minutes. This was done because of the lack of longer playing tapes at the time.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers did not release a full-length, unedited copy of the movie until 1983, when a 144-minute cut of the film was issued. This edited VHS version is 60 minutes shorter than the original 1978 theatrical release and 24 minutes shorter than the 2001 director's cut. No actual material was cut from this release. Instead, scenes with no dialogue in the opening credits were sped up. Another major difference included the deletion of the film's closing credits. We see the copyright notice from the original closing credits, followed by the Chiron version of the credits from a trailer for the film, followed by the next year's Superman 2 tag, and then a copyright disclaimer. This is so bizarre. This is the magic of movies of this period, right? I mean, now, have you ever seen Superman 2?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Which version? Did you see the Donner cut?
I've never seen the Donner cut.
The Donner cut, they restore the Brando footage that was shot. So you have
and
Brando.
I bet they paid for that too.
Well, I wonder though. I think Brando was deceased at this point, so maybe they made a deal with the estate. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure someone got paid. Yeah, this is technically a montage, but it feels more like a dream to me.
Yeah. Well, this whole portrayal of space, it's like I don't know. I would see like pictures of this on the front of art booklets and stuff. You know.
Yeah.
Like that's what it reminds me
Cosmo
of.
magazine and everything. Yeah,
stuff like that.
But this is, to me, this is just as dreamy as the journey to Earth.
Yeah.
So there's kind of like 3 montages in the film, but 2 of them feel like dreams.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a slow build up until now. Like there's a lot
Oh
of
yeah, we're 47 minutes into the film and we still haven't really seen Superman.
I mean, people love the origin story. I kind of think that we don't ever need to see the origin story again, though, unless
If
they
you don't know the Superman origin story, why are you watching the Superman film?
I mean, I don't think you have to. I mean, when people picked up the first Action Comics, did they really go into the origin story that much? Maybe in the first few panels, if anything. I mean, it's just I I mean, I don't think anything's going to best this. I mean, this is
like the blueprint for all superhero movies. I mean, this is. I don't think there's a better superhero movie.
Yeah.
I certainly haven't seen all of them, but I don't think you can top this.
And if you want another origin story for Superman, just watch just watch all 10 seasons of Smallville. Okay, it's which is one long origin story. Okay. Olea Plus Size has a comment here. Age Boomer have both versions on Blu-ray. Yeah, I have what is reportedly the theatrical version, but it was running a little longer than Daniel, so I think I'm caught up to him now. So hopefully, maybe he has the version where they sped everything up. I don't know.
and Leia Plus Size is correct. The music that plays during the conversation is very beautiful. It's a very soft, warm melody, and when you put that over the Fortress of Solitude, which is very cold and alien, it's nice.
And now the Fortress of Solitude, it's now brightly. It doesn't seem so bad. I think from this point on,
it could use some wallpaper or something.
I wonder if Lois makes a comment about that in the second one. I'm sure she made a comment about that in something. Well, it could use some decorations or use some plants or something. I don't know. She said. I don't know.
What the hell kind of story is she writing? It's like how many T's in bloodletting, only 1 P in rapist.
I would think that I would
High
think
School Massacre. I'm like,
I don't know. It's funny because I used to work for a newspaper years ago, and you have to be very careful with people would write into the letters editor complaining about all the typos and everything. But if you remember, though, let's be fair to her. Back then, of course, she should have a dictionary by her desk. There's no excuse there.
And it's a source, yes.
Yeah, but there was no. I don't know. Back then, was there any? There was no internet, basically. So, at least not to the public, right?
Yeah, true. This whole scene in Perry's office. This is the interplay here is like it came off of a stage play.
Everything works. Yeah, it's.
I mean, this just feels like a really high class play right here.
Yeah. Now I don't know if Clark Kent ever went to college, but I especially then I don't think you had to go to college to become a reporter. You just had to be able to do your job. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, surely you could go to school like anything, but
I mean, nowadays reporters don't do anything except just run their mouths, right?
Pretty much, it's op-ed and not even that good. I mean, I'm sorry, I read articles online, and I mean, to be fair, I've probably been guilty of some sad sentences in my time, but yeah, there are some. Just some like I was reading a review of The Mandalorian about saying and someone called it's based on Lone Wolf and Cubby, and I'm like, it's Lone Wolf and Cub. Lone Wolf and Cub.
Okay.
Like it's a Japanese movie series, and but it's not Lone Wolf and Cubby, and even I knew that, and just I've never even seen those movies, but it's like
I feel like I did more research for tonight's show than what they did for the news broadcast tonight on the network.
Oh, definitely.
And this right here when he's like, send half my salary to this address, and Lois Lane is like, is that your bookie? And he's like, no, it's my mom. And it's like, oh.
And is she gray haired? Actually, it's silver hair.
It's silver. And she's like, what? Like
he's a good son, okay? Plus, I imagine she has to hire people for the farm too, right? I mean, some guy offered to come by and help her out.
Yeah. Because that's what you do when you grow up in the county. You help out your neighbor.
Yeah.
Leia Plus Size says Margot Kidder is her favorite Lois Lane.
I like Margot Kidder. My favorite though is always going to be Erica Durance. Though she was the one who was the Lois Lane on Smallville. They
She had brown hair.
Brown hair, yeah, she had brown hair on that. Yeah. Not to be confused with Kristen Kruick, who also had brown hair, but she played Lana. They didn't have a redhead for Lana, but it's funny. The Lois Lane on Smallville was a big fan of Whitesnake. It was like her favorite band, which I thought was funny. All right.
Well, I guess she has something in common with Professor Geek. So.
There you go. Yeah. But this was my first superhero. Okay. I mean, I think I knew of Batman when I was a child because of the 60s series, but I'm sorry, but the superhero I knew of was this. I knew about Superman. I knew about Spider-Man. Because even though Spider-Man didn't have a movie series, he was still that big that you knew about him. You know, you knew about him from the comics. And you know about the Incredible Hulk because he had a TV show and Wonder Woman. And I didn't know of any of the other heroes. I think later on I learned about Captain America. But unless you're reading comics, like a lot of that Marvel stuff stayed in storage for a long time. And you know, the reason why Marvel movies I think were so popular now is because we never got to see them. You know.
Yeah.
Because I know they would have been making them back then, I think, if they had the rights to them. But Stan Lee, that a lot of those licenses got tied up in rights, and you know, it just.
So the Love Theme is going to make its first introduction here in a second.
Yes. I hate those doors.
Oh, the revolving doors.
Yes.
Yeah, they have them a lot up in Boston.
They have them, I think, in theme parks too. I keep thinking I ran into one at Disney. I don't know. Maybe I'm mistaken, but okay. So obviously, the Metropolis in this is based on New York City. See if there's anything on this.
Okay, let me know when Lois kicks the mugger. I'm going to press pause.
Okay.
Because somehow I got ahead of you again.
What do you mean?
What's going on in the movie right now for you?
The bugger is pointing a gun at Clark Kent.
Okay, well, tell me when she kicks him.
All right. I apologize. I thought we had the same cut. This is something they did.
Right.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing that happened to me this week. My week's going pretty good.
Okay. I should just have us do the special edition. Okay.
She about to kick the mugger?
He's about to pick up her purse after she drops it. Now, yep, kick the mugger. Okay. Just kick. Okay. We're going to hit play.
So, he caught the bullet. And you get the plucking on the strings.
Yes.
There's the Love Theme for the first time.
Uh-huh.
It's like, Clark, you okay? It's like, oh, I must have fainted. I think the Love Theme for Superman it's the Superman March, the Love Theme, and then the March of the Villains. Those are like the three best concert pieces. And I think the best score selection is the Leaving Home track.
Yeah. But I do love the March of the Villains too, though. That was it's almost
it's not used enough.
It's almost like it's almost like a comedic version of the Imperial March in some ways. If I could compare it to anything, it's like
that's
probably going about the wrong way. But
Lex Luthor is trying to kill lots and lots of people.
He's evil.
But the music keeps it comic booky.
Yeah.
Now the piece in the film is kind of chopped up, but John Williams wrote a concert piece, and it starts out with the bassoons, which you could call Otis's theme because the bassoons and Otis is this kind of work. And then the oboe comes in a little bit later, which should be like Lex Luthor, a bit more sophisticated, especially more sophisticated than Otis. And then you ended out with the flute, which could be Miss Tessmacher, because she's not really evil. She's just hanging out.
Exactly.
But you'll get like 2 minutes of the villain's theme, and then there'll be a break, and then it'll come back, which I feel like this movie needed more film score. I
Well,
think it could hold it.
Yeah, well, he wrote enough of it. I can tell you that much. I mean,
I mean, he wrote enough. But wall-to-wall scores really hadn't come into vogue at this point. Star Wars had a lot of film score in Star Wars, but until Empire came out, which is pretty much all film score, then Temple of Doom did the same thing. It's almost all film score. Because right now you have no music, but Otis is still mulling around, and the cops are trying to find him.
yeah. Are they looking in the train cars and stuff on your end?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I feel like this could carry some music.
Well, I don't know. Like I said, this was Richard Donner, so
And when you put Otis in clothes that are a little bit too tight for him, it just kind of makes him look more harmless.
or oafish. Yeah. I mean that's.
Yeah.
I want to call him a henchman, but I don't even know if he's on that level. You know what I'm saying?
He's like the cousin you wish you didn't have, but you got to be nice to him because of reasons.
Yeah, I'm wondering why Lex keeps him around. I guess Ned Beatty is funny though.
In the fourth one, the kid was his nephew, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was John Cryer as Lenny Luthor, I think. Yeah.
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 Kept playing the drums.
Yeah, I did kind of like that. I mean, to be fair, all the stuff with Lex and Superman 4 is fine. It's just it had no budget, you can tell.
It had no budget, and they cut like half the movie out, and yeah.
I mean, talk about a movie they need to restore. Okay,
I would get behind that. If you want to restore and redo Superman 4, I'm all for that.
Some person, I don't know who, and I think Big Al talked about this a lot, that someone made a cut of that combines Superman 3 and 4 into one movie, and it's very good.
Really?
I'd be curious to see that. Oh, are you with the cop on the safety platform now?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is really like the really only sinister thing Lex Luthor does for the entire film.
Until the last part, yeah. But I think what they had to show early on, no, this is a villain. Okay, this is not a.
Yeah. And then the other cops come and find his squished hat. But that little bit of music, I think that's the most sinister part of music in the entire movie. Is when he kills that cop. I guess Blowing Up California is not that horrible, musically speaking.
Yeah, well.
I'm in no way advocating the blowing up of California, you two.
Well, maybe you aren't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
Stephen Cruz, think of Stephen Cruz.
Oh, Stephen Cruz in the chat?
No, Stephen Cruz is in California.
Oh, that's right. We love California. Okay, we love California. Except when it's on fire. Okay.
if I could bankroll this place to live in, I don't care about anything else.
This would be awesome.
He's got a library. He's got indoor pool.
He has Miss Tessmacher, so
yeah, you got Miss Tessmacher. You got all the electronic equipment. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, it's state of the art. It's probably better than anything on the surface.
Yeah. And if I was in New York, I'd rather be underground. Yeah. Like that.
Why do so many
Now-
people have? Oh, go ahead.
When Gene Hackman had a mustache when he was hired to be in the movie, and he kept talking to Richard Donner, like, "Well, I don't really want to shave it." And Richard Donner said, "Well, come to London, we'll discuss it." And he came to London, and Richard Donner was like, "Well, if you lose yours, I'll lose mine." And Gene Hackman was like, "Oh, okay." So he shaved off his mustache, and then he went up to Richard Donner, and Richard Donner just pulled his off. It was a phony mustache.
Oh, that's funny. He
But-
had to lose the mustache.
Well, they wanted him to shave his head, but he wouldn't do it. And-
Well, to be fair, I'm okay with the wig wearing, at least for this version.
Yeah, I am too. But $2 million, I will gladly shave my head.
Shave my head, yes. At least he's in a skin cap at the end, right? I mean,
That's true.
but yeah, he should have shaved his head. It's not as bad as Cesar Romero. He would shave his mustache when he played the Joker. And part of me almost
Oh,
wishes
yeah.
on Batman, on the old Batman show, just make his mustache green. Just have him have a mustache. This Joker has a mustache. Okay, just just rather than have him paint the makeup over it. I think that would have been the better way to go. But
So Valerie Perrins played Miss Tessmacher. Do you know anything about her? Aside from the fact she is not ugly at all.
yeah. Let me see. Miss Tessmacher. I want to say she was in Playboy, but I would not know that. Okay.
I bet Big Al knows that. Big Al, help us out, man.
Oh man,
You still in the chat?
Valerie Perrin. Okay, for her role as Honey Bruce in the 1974 Lemmy, she won a BAFTA award for Most Promising Newcomer in Leading Film Roles.
That's
Okay,
impressive.
let's see. When was she born? 1943. So let's see. She would have been. Let me see. Probably late 30s when this was made, right? Let me
Yeah.
see. Okay. Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
when
she
did
was-
Annie Hall come out?
She was on the pictorial layout in the 1972 issue of Playboy. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, and she was in the film adaptation of Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five. And she was Charlotte Sale, ex-wife of rodeo champion, played by Robert Redford in The Electric Horseman, 1979. And her career grew uneven after an appearance in Can't Stop the Music, 1980, for which she was nominated for a Razzie Award for Worst Actress. The film has since become a cult classic. This happens with a lot of movies that people hate when they come out. They become
Yeah.
popular over time. Okay, and she starred in the failed CBS comedy series Leo and Liz in Beverly Hills.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
That's probably why it failed.
All right. Perrin is the subject of an upcoming documentary about her life entitled Valerie. Okay, so they're going to do a documentary about her. Oh, she made a guest appearance on Homicide: Life on the Street, the TV show. So yeah, kind of after the early 80s, it kind of, but maybe she got busy with other things. Let's see. What about personal life? I'm always terrified. Let's see. She was the daughter of Winifred Renee, a dancer who appeared in Earl Carl's Vanities, and Kenneth Perrin, a lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army. Okay, that's all I have on her. Okay. All right, well, that's all you get. Okay. And now we have Margot Kidder. She would star in the Amityville Horror, I think, a year later.
Did you see that movie?
Yes. Have you seen it?
I have not.
I'll put it this way. I used to watch it as a kid on the afternoon. It was on afternoon TV, and I was like, it was made, and I didn't realize it wasn't a made-for-TV movie. It was an actual theatrical release. It felt like a made-for-TV movie. And she was in it, and in it she hums. I think she hums the
Really?
Superman theme in one scene, or she hums the Love theme. She does one of those. It's like a little reference to this movie because she plays the wife of the. Let's say it's a James Brolin. That's the father. Yeah, he was in it too, and yeah.
So we're like an hour and 6 minutes into it. and we're finally about to see Superman. But the movie works. We're not complaining about it. If you watch Ang Lee's Hulk movie, if you can call it that, how long do you go without seeing the Hulk? And it's like, my God, when is the Hulk going to come
You
out?
see him turn into one as a baby real quick, remember?
Okay.
Yes. Everyone hates the Ang Lee Hulk movie. I don't know. I guess I wasn't as familiar with the comic. I didn't absolutely hate the movie, but I know a lot of people.
I was Hulk angry when I left the theater.
I do prefer the Incredible Hulk. I thought that's the best Hulk movie I've seen, and I miss Edward Norton. I wish they had brought him back. I don't know what happened there, but
he didn't like them, or they didn't like him, or it was mutual.
I don't know. Maybe they were afraid he wouldn't get along with Robert Downey Jr. I don't know. Now, okay, I'm at the part where the copter is on the side of the building.
Yes, help.
Good.
Yeah.
This actually, talk about terrifying scenes. Not the part with Lex Luthor kicking the guy off. This freaked me out as a kid.
This selection is not on the original soundtrack release.
That does not surprise me.
Music right here.
I think people complained about that. I have a note on that. Hold on.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. The cry for an expanded Superman album began with about 2 days after release of the generous 78-minute 2 LP set.
78 minutes.
Well, that was a lot back then.
It was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're okay. Yeah. And after the rabid fans of Williams' score saw the movie, they realized that the editors had omitted enough material for another entire record. Warner obviously cared little. This was already twice as long as their typical release of the period, like The Swarm, Poltergeist, and Twilight Zone the movie. They released the Swarm soundtrack on LP.
They released the complete score a couple months ago.
Of the Swarm?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
I might have to get that as a curiosity.
It's sweet.
Oh.
Okay, so we're about to hear the ostinato, the Superman theme here in a couple seconds. Finally, we've waited an hour and 5 minutes to really get it.
Hey.
Here we go. It's going to build.
It's called pacing.
Yeah.
This is before the MTV generation, okay?
Phone booth's too small. Yeah.
When it goes in there, it's one of those. It's one of those. I like that little joke. Yeah, that was clever that they did that. That's a nod to the older Superman TV series and stuff. I think that was that was.
Dun, 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 dun. Yep. Go around the revolving door. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. The bad outfit. Yeah, I like that dude.
Dun, 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 dun.
Then she's gonna fall.
They kept. Oh, they have a pimp in this version. That was just. She's gonna fall. This is.
And then as soon as it catches her, it brings in the love theme. So, like, is it love at first sight, musically speaking?
What is it? Love at first sight? Love at first flight, maybe. Ha ha ha. Ha. Okay.
Then when he catches the helicopter, you get the full-on Superman march theme.
Everyone's cheering him on. Not like in Batman versus Superman, where they're either deifying him or throwing stuff at him, right?
You know, I was way excited for that movie, and I watched it, and I got in my car, and I'm like, yeah, it didn't have any heart. I felt like it was lifeless.
Did you see the theatrical version in the theaters?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Opening night, first showing.
It's interesting because I didn't bother watching it until it came out on Blu-ray. I checked it out from the library, and I watched the expanded version. And apparently the expanded version is supposed to be better because apparently there are things that they cut out in the theatrical version, like transition points, that made it even worse. So I don't know. It's, as always, Superman, I always want to like his movies, but he doesn't always, but the movies don't always deliver. That's the problem.
So, does Superman fly without this music?
I mean, can you show him flying without the music? or does he
I
fly
mean,
in this without the music?
if this music wasn't here, is this movie as good?
No,
Yeah,
no,
I would say no.
no. In fact, I used to hear someone say once that the score is half the movie.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think especially with and a bad score can ruin a movie. Okay,
it
I
can.
I mean not completely, but
Justice League.
oh man, I saw
I
that in the theater, and I'm embarrassed that I saw that in the theater.
I didn't see it. I was so on the fence, but I'm like, I'm gonna go give it a chance. And I listened to the score on YouTube, and I'm like, no, because no.
Oh, Leia Plus Eye says, get ready for one of the best lines in movie history. When she said, "Who's got you?" the audience in the theater burst out with laughter. That's when I knew the real power of movies. Yeah,
Yeah.
this whole thing is movie magic. I feel bad. This is like, in fact, it's funny. In one of the later Mission Impossible movies, they have something like this where Tom Cruise has to scale. I think that huge building in Dubai where he's just
Yeah.
with the magnetic gloves that may not work. And
So would you call this like a montage scene?
yes, yeah,
You
I think I
would?
would call it a montage scene. I mean, you get little scenes like different things. Here we go. Look, he stole the jewels. That's the type of character that might become a villain later on. He gets exposed to something that gives him powers, like on Superman the Animated Series, and then he becomes like I always noticed on Superman the Animated Series that all the villains were usually bad people to begin with. whereas on Batman the Animated Series, they tended to be more, except for characters like the Joker, but like some of the other villains, like they had bad days. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Maybe if their life had gone a different way, they wouldn't have become these villains.
Well, Superman could be bad if he had a bad day. And,
No,
and,
no,
and Batman is just like the Punisher who has more good days. I don't know. I hope Batman catches that on a replay so his head can just explode.
There you go. Exactly. That's what I would say. Yeah, it's Punisher's my favorite superhero because he kills the bad guys. No, I'm kidding. Oh man, I have to admit though, I did love Punisher Warzone. I consider that a B movie version of
the movie. Okay,
because that came out the same year as The Dark Knight, and I consider it a B movie version of The Dark Knight. You know.
Did you like The Dark Knight?
I liked it fine. Did you not like it?
No, I liked it very much.
Yeah,
I am not, disclaimer, I am not a Batman fan.
I like the Nolan Batman films fine. I know there's some trepidation in the community about that. Like I know a lot of people don't like the third one, but I don't know.
It's not the film I would have made, and like every time I say that, it's like I don't want to say something bad, so I say it's not the film I would have made.
There you go.
But it's like how I am with the G.I. Joe movies. I'm like, it's not the film I would have made, but if I'm cleaning the house, I'll put in the DVD player and it's fine.
I mean, I'll say even with this movie, like if I were making a Superman movie today, I wouldn't make it like this. But I think this is the best Superman movie they could have made in 1979. I think
by far.
I think we can admit that. And in fact, I think that was one of my criticisms of Superman Returns is that it was borrowing too many of the notes from this movie. Oh, he gets the cat out of the tree.
Yep.
There's a funny scene in it where you have the evil Superman clone in that Superman Doomsday animated movie where he takes the cat out of a tree, and the old one says, "Listen, I wish you would keep better track of your cat because when I'm having to help people with the little things, I'm not helping people with the big things." And it's almost like he's threatening the cat. Do you understand? Oh, I'll be careful, Superman. Because it's the bad clone that Lex Luthor made of Superman in that one. So he's still sort of acting like Superman, but it's skewed.
Well, I mean, people don't really like cats, anyways, right? I mean, who likes cats?
I'm more of a dog person, but
yeah.
Cats.
I always worry about any man who says he likes cats.
Why? Because you think he has an underground fortress and has James Bond tied to a machine ready to kill him, that sort of thing.
I'm just kind of poking fun at Professor Geek if he.
Oh, I see. Oh, he has a cat. Oh, I
has
see.
a cat.
Well, all the Bond villain, like the one main Bond villain, always had the cat. Remember Blofeld? He was always. It's.
So how many people are in the cockpit of a Boeing 747?
That's a good question.
Pilot, co-pilot, navigator is what I would think.
I used to watch this documentary series, First Person, and each episode, the documentary guy would film different people from walks of life, and he did one about an airplane pilot, and the guy basically said that he was just a passenger on a plane, and he noticed that something was wrong, and he went up, and all the engines were failing. Like usually they're fail safes, they're always fail safes. This was like a 1 in a million thing, and he could tell the two pilots were, and he was trying to help them too because he was also a pilot, and it was a tense episode. He's just recalling what he went through with and trying to land the plane too because everything was out. And Sound Engraver, don't listen anyway. But anyway,
is Sound Engraver in the house tonight?
No, she's not. She took a trip recently. Yeah, but
do they not have internet where she's at?
Well, I don't know. I maybe she'll listen to it one day, and it's like me. I have an MFA in creative writing, so I'll hear people talk about writing, and you get that education, and you're like, people are using all the wrong words. But
interesting note right here: the Hawaiian music you hear in the background. John Williams wrote that just for this movie.
Oh,
and
really?
It's not on the 78 LP.
Okay, Are you on the scene where Lex Luthor's in the lair?
Yes, he's in the tub. Not the tub, the pool.
What cut of this movie do I have?
What cut do I have? What did Google sell me today?
I don't know. Okay, now I'm on the pool.
Okay.
I'm wondering if this is the special edition, but the time code is reading about 2 hours, 30 minutes. And that's not the special edition.
Yours is 7 minutes longer than mine.
That's what's throwing it off. I bet you have the old VHS copy, probably, right?
I don't know. The VHS on here.
No, I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I know you.
I know. It's a skinny VHS.
I'm sorry. Of course, I wonder. That water must be clean, right? Because I'm hoping that's not. Okay.
No. Yeah, you would not. No.
There are alligators in the sewers in New York, Of course, this is Metropolis. That's right. It flies. Yeah, on Superman of the Animated Series, Lois Lane says he's the Nietzschean Superman, and that's where they got the title from, But they did this on the animated series too. Superman decides he's going to let Lois interview him, to show the people he's not not there to hurt anyone. He's just there to help out,
So, I think my problem with Lois Lane is,
yes,
like Clark Kent's not good enough, but Superman is. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
Well, I think it's all about how you carry yourself, right?
It's kind of. There's nothing wrong with Clark Kent, though. He's a very fine guy.
Yeah.
But it's like, oh, I won't date you because you're on financial aid in college, but I'll date you because your parents write a check and you drive a Porsche.
Exactly. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. I mean, it's what it is too. I that's why I like the love story in Superman 3, because Lana Lane is in love with Clark Kent. She's
Clark Kent. Yeah. And Lois Lane wears a Timex watch. I find that very interesting because today she would be wearing not a Timex.
Well, maybe Timex gave some money to the movie. Put the watch in there, and we'll Because I mean, I imagine this was expensive for the time when this came out. This was probably it's not as obvious as the IHOP in Man of Steel.
Oh, that's classy, man. Yeah. Where else can you go at 2:00 in the morning when you want to get heartburn?
I do like their blueberry pancakes, though. I'll say that. But yeah, that was obvious product placement. Okay. Good evening, Miss Lane.
Yes. And that apartment, what would that cost in New York City?
You know, when yeah,
How much money does she make?
I don't
gotta know.
as a reporter's salary, I don't think that much. Now, as I know from both series I've watched, her father is a general in the army. So I don't know if I don't know how she's affording this. No, I don't know. She's an award-winning. I think she's won Pulitzers though. So or
There's a house or apartment in Boston. It's on top of a skyscraper, and it looks like someone just built a mansion on top of it with trees and everything. It's gorgeous.
huh.
And I've got a picture of it. I'll have to send it to you. And
Yeah,
I'm like, what supervillain lives up there?
that'd be
Because
awesome.
it's downtown Boston, and it's like a mansion on top of a skyscraper. And
Oh,
it's
wow.
like, wow.
That happens though. I mean, I'm thinking of what is it like? I think I saw a Jason Statham movie where a guy had a swimming pool that extended out from the skyscraper on like the 50th floor or something. You know, and it's
Wow.
uh I'll say this though. Yeah, Margot Kidder is a great Lois Lane. I'm not trying to take anything away from her. Obviously, I mean she has the brassiness to her.
Did she died, right?
I think she died recently. Yeah, I think she died. Christopher Reeve died. Um, that's a shame. I'm trying to think who else. I think Gene Hackman's still alive though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good. You know, I was in college in Indiana, and I'd been sick off and on for like a month, and then school got out, and I came home, and I was still been sick off and on, and I went to the hospital, and they diagnosed me with mono, real bad mono,
Oh.
and I went back home, and the next day I was in the hospital for like 2 weeks, and while I was in the hospital, Christopher Reeve had the accident with the horse,
Oh.
and
And that's what
for
you
whatever
found.
reasons, that just kind of I felt some sort of kinship with him because I was in the hospital. I was bad sick. They thought I was going to die, and
Mhm.
he had the horse accident, and that just kind of bonded him with me. I know it sounds weird, but
No, I don't think it does. Yeah.
and then like when he died, I was like, damn, because you didn't want that to happen.
No. Oh, Leia Plus Size has a comment. I'm sorry, guys. I have to disagree with that. I did not see it like that. I don't think she was rejecting because of that. I like Lois' reaction between the two. With Clark, she was just all tough working girl. When she got around Superman, she could not get her words right.
Okay, I can see
Maybe.
that. Yeah. See, girls will see it different than what a guy will see it. I'm seeing it from all the heartbreak over the years.
I will say this too. At least in these movies, he is putting on a face for Clark Kent. You know, that's a bit of a bubbler. Yeah. Whereas I think on Superman the Animated Series they did change Clark Kent's personality a little bit. They made him more shrewd. They made him cynical too. They made him a cynical reporter. But
Really?
he was still clumsy though. They still had to be clumsy and stuff. I think the idea is what's the opposite of Superman? It's someone who's cynical, right? So Clark Kent would kind of come off as a little cynical as a reporter, you know, like especially in dealings with Lex Luthor when Lex Luthor was making all these big altruistic claims, you know, he would act like the cynical reporter around him.
Now,
How fast do you fly, by the way? You know, actually, there's a special feature on the Blu-ray that has a test screening of him doing this scene, but it's not with Margot Kidder. It was with Jack Palance's daughter, who was originally up for this role. I think she was one of the last few, but they ended up going with Margot Kidder. And I think I understand why, because I forgot what her first name, but Jack Palance's daughter, she was playing Lois Lane like a Lois Lane from the 40s. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Where I think this Lois Lane is a modern Lois Lane that would be in the 70s. So that's probably why I bet that's why they put Margot Kidder. It wasn't nothing wrong with her performance, the Jack Palance's daughter, but I just think that Clark, who's that? Your boyfriend? Oh, Clark? No, he's nothing.
Now we're gonna get the full-blown love theme.
Yes. So I better cue up my notes here.
Which I think is one of John Williams' prettier compositions.
Oh yeah.
And definitely in the top 10 from the 70s. And if people playing at home think, well, of course it's in the top 10. He didn't do all that much in the 70s. Yeah, he did. You need to go back.
He did a lot in the 70s. What are they talking about?
A lot.
It's Star Wars in the 70s.
Yeah.
The flying sequence reveals Lois on a date with Superman. But here we go. Okay. Superman takes Lois in his arms on a wondrous flight, which sweeps Lois off her feet, powerless and full of yearning. What unfolds is a full and extended rendering of the love theme in all its sumptuous beauty, where it blossoms, fully informing us of Lois's love for the man of her dreams. This thematic moment is perfection. The cue's opening phrases are tender yet hesitant, reflecting our two lovers. Okay.
So do you see it as their theme or like her theme?
Their theme. And it's a very hopeful sounding theme too, you know.
Yeah.
That, you know, things were bad, but now he's here, you know. And one thing I actually do really appreciate about this movie is that you have Lex Luthor already scheming before Superman shows up. So if Superman hadn't been there, California'd be in the sea, okay? You know. Because the one thing I don't like when they do certain Superman movies, it's always an extraterrestrial threat, even sometimes originating from Krypton. I do like the fact that when, you know, he's actually stopping, you know, Earthbound villains like Lex Luthor, you know, that, you know, if Superman wasn't around, you know, we'd be facing terrible things without him, you know, so it's good that he's here. I've always appreciated that.
You know, one thing like in Superman 2, when General Zod and the other two, I forget their names, are whooping up on the people, and Superman's like, don't, the people. And General Zod says, I've discovered his weakness. He cares for these people.
Yes.
You don't get that a whole lot in Zack Snyder Supermans.
No.
You know?
I remember on Red Letter Media, they were making fun of like Batman versus Superman, saying that he almost looked like in pain when he was rescuing like the downed space, the downed I guess space shuttle or whatever it was, you know, like
it's like, oh, you know, God, I gotta go do this now.
Or like it's like he's being tormented, and it's like, you're supposed to have a smile on your face, okay? You're helping people. Oh, I love this.
Leia plus size, it is a beautiful score. And the flying scene is very well shot.
Yes. Yeah, I love this scene because you see Margot and Chris chemistry. Oh my goodness. I'm going to say this too. I don't know why, but just when she loses the grip, she falls. I noticed too. It's like, but she's hanging on. It's not like she's figuring out sideways. Actually, they have a similar scene in All-Star Superman where Superman is able to give Lois Lane his powers for one day. Okay, so she gets to fly around and do all the stuff with him. It's a neat little segment in that.
What are your feelings on the spoken words here?
Okay. It's funny because I kept thinking in the theatrical version, they're not going to have those spoken words. Oh, they're here. I thought that was in the special edition.
No, that was legit theatrical version.
That was in the theatrical version.
Yeah. And it's on the original LP too.
Just like they were originally going to have Margot Kidder sing them, and no, she's not a singer. Okay,
Yeah.
so she has them speaking it. I don't want to be mean. I'm trying to be. This is the one part of the movie. Do you like them? If you like them, it's fine. It's just,
It's never bothered me. I didn't know people hated it until I started doing research. Be like, and I'm like, really?
I don't
It's
know.
fine with me.
People row with this, and I might be one of them. It's just I don't
Do you
know.
feel like it takes you out of the movie, or
It kind of does for me. I don't know. I'm gonna get yelled at probably by all the people that love this. Uh, can you read my mind? I bet you dollars to donuts when they would air this on network TV, they cut this part out because I did not remember seeing this growing up. Okay, this whole thing with her speaking the words. I only saw it when I got the DVD and was like, oh, and it's like, if you need to be loved, here I am. I mean, it's.
I like it because it gives you. I think it gives you a window inside her mind. Like this is legit what she's thinking right now. And I think if it was sung, to me that would take me out of the picture more if it had been sung.
Maybe
because I don't sing to myself when I'm thinking.
It's funny though. You bring that up though, and they didn't they have Vicky they did a Prince had a duet, I think, on the Batman soundtrack, which is supposed to be Bruce Wayne and Vicky Vale, like she's singing her thoughts, and I don't remember that at all. Just so maybe you're right there.
Yeah. Okay.
The Vicky Vale singing, I don't know. That was. In fact, I think you only would hear it on the movie if you stayed further down the end credits. I think in of Batman. What a Superman! Oh, there we go.
On the Rhino Records released an expanded score back in the 90s, I think it was, and they've got Margot Kidder singing on it.
Interesting.
And
is
then
the
there's
Rhino?
A version. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just wondering. Is the Rhino the 2-disc one?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And then there's a version of her, and it's like all like 70s disco pop.
Awesome.
So, yeah. That I can do without, definitely.
Disco. Disco burned bright, and then everybody wanted to kill it.
Yeah. Now, like right here, do you see how he just transformed from Clark Kent to Superman, like right there?
Yeah. And she can't even tell. Taking the glasses off.
But it wasn't that. It was also his posture.
His posture. I will say this. Maybe there's something to be said about, as a man, putting your best foot forward. I mean, I'm sure we've all had those tragic moments where there's a woman we like and we don't always put our best foot forward.
Yeah.
And that's sort of what this reminds me of. Oh, I put the glasses back on.
A lot of people call that like the Clark Kent theme. It bridges the love theme to the Superman theme. I'm not good enough to really.
I don't know.
Tell it's all that different. I've tried. I can't catch the difference to say this is its own separate theme. I wish I could, but I haven't been able to process it in my brain.
Yeah, I don't know. Now we have Lex Luthor. Now I guess he's smart enough to realize this is going to be a problem, right?
Yeah. Is War and Peace not an adventure story? I mean, kind of.
Yeah. Oh, and come away thinking it's a simple adventure story.
Yeah.
Others read the ingredients and unlock the secrets of the universe.
That's a nice little library he's got.
It is. Oh no! No! M as a moron.
And again, if I had this place I could finance that place to live, I wouldn't care about California or nothing. I'd just be like, hey.
You know what? It's you want that beachfront property. I gotta say, I like how his hair is always changing. Have you noticed that?
Yeah. And Leia plus size says she likes the spoken word because we get inside Lois's head. Yeah, that's what I was. That's how I see it. That's what she's actually thinking at that moment.
Yeah. Deductive reasoning. That's the name of the game. So, how many soundtrack releases has this thing had? Because I didn't even realize the one you pointed out to me was not the one I was looking at years ago.
You're probably looking at the Rhino release.
Yeah, was that done by who composed? Who did the recording of that?
Rhino Records.
Yeah, I know that. Was it like done by some foreign, like the Prague Philharmonic?
I want to say Germany.
Okay,
it was the original tapes. It was the original tapes. But Rhino Records released them.
That wasn't the one I had been looking at. I was looking at a different one. That was
First Saraband released a copy, which I think is just the original, just redone.
Yeah, hold on. Let me look that up real quick. So, was Otis ever in the comics?
You need to talk to Fan Man.
I know. I need to talk to Fan Man. I don't.
And he said he would try to stop by, but I'm sure he's busy being super pimp down in Louisiana.
He's a busy man. He's teaching now.
It's true.
He'd be cool to have as a teacher, I think.
Of course, I would have liked to have had him as a teacher.
Yeah, definitely. Superman CD soundtrack. The one I had looked at, I believe, unless I'm confusing with the North by Northwest soundtrack I got, was a double disc, I think.
Originally, I think this one was on a double CD.
Hold on. 40th Anniversary Remastered Edition.
That's this one.
That's the one that was put up by La La Land. Never mind. That's the one I think I just got. All right. I swear there was another version. His hair changed again.
It did. That takes effort to flip a car that many times.
So at least the fact they didn't want to shave his head, at least they do things to make insinuate that he is bald, and then we do see him at least with a skin cap at the end.
Yeah.
You know. Any thoughts on
you get the Villains March coming back for the first time since, I don't know what, like the 50-minute mark? Like almost an hour later, you hear it again. So that's why I'm saying this film could use more music.
Definitely. Wait a minute. I think.
Yes, she needs mouth to mouth. I'll do it. Yes. I can't ask you to do it. I'll have to do it. Yes, sir. I don't think they would film that nowadays. They
no way.
Oh.
They wouldn't. I'm imagining. Never mind. I don't want to say. Disney. No, they wouldn't do that nowadays. We have to be. I don't know. I'm just thinking of the whole. Superman was so. The way they portrayed Superman, at least up until the Justice League movie, was so morose in those modern DCU movies. I mean, it doesn't look like he's having any fun at all. It's just.
That's a good Tua for Otis.
Miss Tessmacher.
So do you like his real estate scheme? Do you think that's a worthy supervillain plan?
It's good and it's good enough for this. It's basically, I mean, it's just about making money. It's actually no, it's not a bad. No, it's a good enough scheme. Yeah, I like it. I mean, think about it. You buy a bunch of worthless property, then you get a bunch of coastline. I didn't like the fact that they kept trying to repeat it in Superman Returns. I thought at that point, it's just you know,
it feels kind of James Bond, like
yes,
I'm gonna steal all the money out of the Bank of England a split second before I fry the computers. You know,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
pretty much before you shoot your super satellite down,
yeah.
you know that sort of thing. Uh and I think about though James Bond movies, they do feature what I would consider supervillains. I just don't know if I would consider James Bond a superhero, but I think the villains he goes up against are definitely supervillains. I mean,
Is what makes Lex Luthor a supervillain?
his brain. He's a genius. I'll say that much.
But I mean, is he Doctor Doom level genius?
That's a good question. See, it's hard because you're saying because Doctor Doom is one of the best villains in the Marvel universe, right? If not the best. And Lex Luthor, he's one of the top ones in DC as well. I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not gonna. That's
because here he's schemy. He's definitely schemy, but
well, this is more of a foppish take on the character, like especially with how I saw him portrayed more recently. He runs a corporation, you know.
Yeah.
He's still very smart. He's less of the scientist, though. He's smart enough to understand what his scientists are doing. At least that was always the impression I got on the whole animated series, the DC animated universe they did back in the 90s and the 2000s.
In one cartoon, isn't he like the president or something like that?
Yes, he becomes president later. Yeah, he in a Superman Batman Public Enemies. He gets elected president, so they show things getting really bad, and basically the people say, "Screw it, we're going to vote for Lex Luthor as a third party candidate," and they elect him president. Okay, so what is she doing research on? Who someone buying the property around that?
Someone buying up a bunch of desert, yeah,
desert land that's worthless. I think it's an ingenious plan. I mean, it's just to make money, but I mean, you got to start somewhere, right? You want to take over the world, you need money, right? Plus, I also get the impression too that the Lex Luthor in this is a known criminal, that he's on the run. The cops are after him, so he can't exactly do. He has to do stuff underground. I mean, he's literally underground in this, if you think about it. And so I don't know if he did something else dastardly and he got and now he's on the run. I don't know. They never explained it, but I'm sure Professor Geek or Fama would tear me to shreds. I'm sure they know everything that happened before this, but.
So, do you ever wonder what Jerry Goldsmith's score would have been like for Superman if he had the time?
I'm sure it would have been great. I don't think it would have been like Williams. I'm not going to discount Goldsmith because Goldsmith is my favorite, especially at least of the Hollywood film scorers, and it's. I think it would have been probably the equal to this, if not better. But I don't know what he would have done. We'll never know. You know.
Well, he did Supergirl in the '80s.
Oh no!
And is that a no? Like,
have you seen Supergirl?
Long time ago.
It's a movie I desperately want to like. It's another one of these movies. I felt so bad for the actress they cast. They found the perfect actress to play Supergirl, and and a lot of the plot elements in it aren't bad. Like the idea that she would be going up against
was it a witch?
A sorceress, yeah, a witch.
Okay.
Instead of it being because you know that's a change of pace rather than being a science fiction thing. But it's just it. And I think they wanted to get Christopher Reeve to do a cameo, but I think schedules weren't tying up. I think that was because I think he might have been willing to do it, but it just didn't come together and just. Okay, wait. I have a picture of this. Superman the movie, Royal Scottish National Orchestra. Does that ring a bell to you?
Joe McNeely conducting.
Yeah, is that the regular release or is that something else?
That's a redo. I think
Okay.
that came out like mid-90s.
Okay, that might have been the one I was looking at. There was one I was looking at that was hard to find, and this was before the one. I didn't even know the one you mentioned to me the couple weeks ago existed. So, all right. So is he
Yeah,
now?
because in '78, Jerry Goldsmith did Omen 2, The Swarm, Boys from Brazil. He got an Academy Award nomination for that.
Okay, that was
Um,
a good movie.
The Great Train Robbery, and a film called Magic.
Oh, I saw Magic.
And John Williams in '78 did The Fury, Jaws 2, and Superman, and he
Wow.
got an Academy Award nomination for Superman. But Midnight Express won Best Original Score, which
Who did?
seems to be wrong.
Yeah,
Just so wrong.
maybe people like the movie best, or the snobby guys. People like the movie best.
I mean, John Williams won the year before for Star Wars, and it's like, I think people think, well, if you won last year, you don't need to get it this year. You know, it's like Alabama gets the national title this year, Clemson can have it next year, Alabama gets the following year. You know.
Now I have Superman in Lex Luthor's lair. Is that where you are? And he's watching him on the video.
Yeah, he's pushing the door in.
Okay.
He pushed the door in all the way.
Now I know that in the special edition he tries all sorts of things on Superman, like machine guns. He
Yeah.
tries freezing him to death, and that's in here. Are you seeing it too?
No, but I've seen those scenes.
I
And,
swear.
They said Stuart Baird cut them out because they seemed redundant.
All right. So I might have to catch up with you again. I swear I have a different cut of this movie. I wonder if this
Okay.
is the special edition I have after all this time, but I could have swore it said regular theatrical edition was included in this set. Of course, like I said, mine's only 8 minutes longer, so. Miss Tessmacher looks good in anything. I'm sorry.
She does.
Like,
She does.
I
Leia plus size says Lex Luthor feels he is so smart he cannot be beaten, and that's true, and that's always a good downfall when you think you're too smart to lose.
yeah. There's a word for that, but I may not repeat it on this channel because it has a cuss word in it. Unless you don't care. It's having.
Hubris?
Yeah, there you go. That's the word for it. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's when your masculinity is derived from your intellect. Okay, and
Okay.
it's a type. It's something like sometimes men in academia have. You know, not all of them. I'm not saying anyone.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
It's showing off your masculinity through your intellect rather than and just being a jerk about it. It's. Are you getting the freezing part either? I
I
swear
don't have any of that on
I
this
have
one.
a different cut than you. Where are you at in your version?
They were discussing plate tectonics in the San Andreas Fault.
Okay, well, we're going to fast forward and I'll catch up with you.
I hit pause, so
Oh, plate tectonics. Okay. Okay, he busted the door. I'm going to find out. I bet this is the special edition, but it says 2:31 on mine, 2 hours 31, so I don't get it.
yeah, yours
Okay.
are longer than
Now,
mine.
now as you may not know, I am very heavy into real estate. That's where I'm at. How's that? Is that like around where you are?
San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco.
Fast forward a little bit. All right.
See, I feel like you could have had music here when he's discussing his plans.
Yeah.
Something sinister sounding.
Mm-hmm.
But then, because the movie was released mid-December, the last scoring day was the first week of November.
Did movies of this time overdo it on the score, though? That's what I'm wondering. Like,
I don't think so. They were still kind of light. Things were starting to change.
I think that's what it was. Yes, San Andreas Fault. Okay.
Otisburg, yeah.
Fast forward.
Otisburg.
This is actually a pretty ingenious plan, though, I have to admit.
Yeah, I wonder if that would actually work. I'm sure someone in the Pentagon has thought this over and figured out if it would work or not. Now, at the end of the movie where he turns the world around,
Yeah.
that was supposed to be the ending of the second movie.
Yes. Oh, Lord. Okay. That it was supposed to be in the second movie, but they wanted a big finale. And then in the Donner cut, he reuses that same ending again. Spoilers if you ever get around to watching it. Okay.
So
Where he reversed this time again.
how do you get here at the end of the second movie, though? Is Lex Luthor still trying to?
No,
seek
he just
California?
reversed it. Here's what happens in okay, how the original cut was supposed to end was Superman launches one of the missiles into space, right? Okay. The missile that gets launched into space is the thing that lets General Zod out of the Phantom Zone. Do you understand?
Right. Yeah.
Because that wasn't in the redone version. It was just some terrorists in France or something, and they
Right.
threw the thing into space there. And this was supposed to be one of Luthor's missiles. And I don't know how it was originally supposed to end. I think maybe he just stops the missile and captures Lex Luthor, and that's it. And Lois Lane doesn't. But they needed something big for the end, so yeah. What do you think of these 70s suits?
If you change the proportions, Lex Luthor is a very good dresser.
Yes. Well, I'm thinking more of Otis. I saw Otis running away.
Oh, yeah. Otis looks like his clothes are too small.
Yeah. He probably buys size too small because he doesn't want to admit his weight, right? That's probably
Yeah. What it is. And I've encountered that a lot in my life. Not for me, but from other people.
Right.
It's only a number. Unless you're an athlete, you don't wear a number.
Yep.
I went through all my sweaters on Monday, tried everything on, and about a third of them have just gotten too small. So I'm like, okay, it's just time to go away.
Gotcha.
And there's the Kryptonite. And you go back to the theme from Krypton, which his home planet music is what musically kills him.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's oh.
Are you at the Kryptonite part?
Yeah, he just opened it up. Maybe I'll fast forward a little bit. Yeah, just to catch up with you. Okay. But
and he looks legitimately scared.
He does, because this can kill him. This can kill him. I think one of the things, I mean, you talk about what makes a supervillain or makes him a supervillain. I think any Superman villain has to have the ability to kill Superman. Okay. I don't care if it's Toyman. I don't care if it's Lex Luthor or Parasite. They all have to be able to kill Superman. That's what makes you a Superman villain. And Kryptonite, he's done. I mean, they used to make a joke on Superman the animated series. The creators, they created this guy called, I mean, the supervillain named Metallo. He's a cyborg that's made out of an indestructible metal that's powered, and his power source is kryptonite. Okay, Superman is dead. Okay, they argued that they didn't understand how Superman would survive fights with Metallo because Metallo is powered by kryptonite and can even shoot kryptonite beams at him. And it's like they've never had Metallo in a movie. I don't know if I'd want to see Metallo in a movie at this point. I don't know how they'd mess him up, but
you've got a master's of writing, right?
Yeah, yes, I do. Yes, kind of like the professor. Yeah.
Do you think Superman's a hard character to write for?
I want to say no, but I've never tried writing Superman, so there's that. I mean, I will say this: what Donner said about this movie, and he wanted this to be like the next James Bond series, and he said you had endless material from decades of Superman comics to pour through.
Yeah.
And I think his point was, I think what you can do is you can take the best from the comics. I think you just have to understand who the character is, and he's a good guy. That's what he is, okay? And I think part of the problem, I'm going to say this with Hollywood types, is I think they can't imagine someone being just a generally good person. I think that's what their problem is. They say he has to have some kind of edge, or he has to go. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. I would Superman be tough to write for? Probably. I don't know. That would be a good question to pose to the professor. I think. Do you think is Superman a hard character to write for?
Well,
I want to say no.
Because he says no.
I want to say no. Yeah.
And he says the same thing. You just got to understand the character. And Fan Man says no.
Yeah.
Um.
I mean, I think too. You can have more conflicted characters in a Superman story. You just don't have it be Superman.
Yeah. I always liked Spider-Man because, like, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, and the car breaks down, and it's like, okay, we gotta get money to fix the car.
Exactly. I think a lot of people can identify with that. Yeah.
And I could just identify with Spider-Man because, like, we didn't have a lot of money. We worked for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Something's always breaking. Something's always going wrong, and that he's always getting beat up pretty good by the bad guys. He wasn't a stud with the girls. No one really liked him.
Exactly. And
it just made him very identifiable for me. And Superman's like, woo, Superman. Like, yeah. But then he's also Clark Kent. But I always just think of Superman. I seldom think of Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Leia plus size is right. Hollywood has trouble with inspirational heroes. Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to think that any one of us, if we were granted superpowers like this, we had this, that we wouldn't, struggle with it and go around hurting people, with them. I don't know. And that's one of those things, would you be able to resist that? And they do deal with that even on the animated series. Like, Superman can get angry if pushed. Okay. It takes a lot to push him, but you can push him. Okay. And, in fact, I would argue that one of the problems with being Superman is that a lot of the time your villains, since you're that good, your villains are that evil. Do you understand? Like, he's gone up against bad guys that are terrifying. I mean, Lex Luthor's evil, but he's not at the level of some of the other people they run into. That he runs into on that. But
are you gonna watch the new Justice League that's coming out?
The Snyder Cut. I'm not paying for it. I can say that much. If it's, I don't even know if I would watch it. Yeah, I don't know. No, probably not. No. I don't think so. I mean, we'll see. I ain't paying for it. That's what I'll put it to you that way. I mean, let's be honest with you. I am going to say this. When Professor Geek and other people say about seeing movies, a lot of times we see movies as a social activity. Okay. You're going out with a friend or a family, or they're really going to see the movie, and you'll say, I don't know about this. Oh, come on. It's like you get dragged along to see something.
It's harder to do that on a streaming service, I think.
Yeah. I mean, with the streaming service, if I have access to it, I don't know if I'll check it out. I don't know. I really am at this point over the DC cinematic universe. I mean, the one that looked kind of interesting was the Wonder Woman, but I kept hearing test screenings saying how awful it was. But then again, that maybe they fixed it. Do you understand? But
the new one, or the
the one that was supposed to come out that we didn't get because of the COVID.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out in the summer, and then it was going to come out, I think, next week, and now it's like, I don't know, sometime.
But I mean, I forgot there was that great line earlier.
So like right there when that rocket blew up in space, that was when General Zod got freed originally.
I think so. Right. Yeah, when he throws it out into space, and I think it goes out into space, and you'll see it in the Donner cut. They show it. They show this scene with him throwing the rocket out into space.
And then does he go back and save the earthquake, or?
Something I got to think about that, because maybe the Superman in the past did that. I don't know how this works. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Time travel makes my head spin, pun intended. Okay, it's This is terrifying. So this is the earthquake happening, right, on the San Andreas
Yeah.
Fault. I mean, this happens in the movie 2012. I don't know if you saw that wonderful disaster movie by Roland
No.
Emmerich. Okay, well, it's cheesy, but you do get to see California sinking into the sea in one scene in it.
Hmm.
It's a bit ridiculous. It's one of those. It's like by the guys that did Day After Tomorrow and stuff like that. But it's now it's interesting on Superman the animated series. I always had the impression that the Metropolis on that series was on the West Coast, and that was more like a San Francisco type city.
Yeah.
And but in this, they based Metropolis off of New York City.
And there's no music here.
When he's going under, see, I'm getting
the-
music on my end. Okay,
He's in the Earth. I
yeah.
guess going to the core. There's no
Oh,
music.
that's interesting. I was hearing music in my version. I bet they added music. Maybe they changed
Okay.
that.
And when the school bus is crashing, there's no music there. And when Lois is driving down the road and the telephone poles are falling over, there's no music. I don't know if that was, again, they didn't have time to score it, or if it was a decision to focus on the sound design.
Maybe.
But when Superman comes in and he just saves the bus, it brings back the Superman theme.
Yeah, now I'm getting no sound on the underground part.
And now he's racing towards Lois. Or actually, right now it's a train.
Let me get that. Hold on.
But it seems spotty as to what parts got music and what parts don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, maybe they were afraid of too much. Maybe the producer comes into the room and said, "There's too much score here."
Yeah. The London Symphony costs money, and we've spent too much.
Man, well, it is true though. They were doing a lot with sound design too, though. So maybe they wanted to show that off as well.
And at no point in time am I faulting the movie. And I'm not saying I don't like the movie. I'm just like, I would have liked more music in the movie.
Yeah. Are you at the dam breaking scene now?
Yeah, the power plant's just like
Okay.
going crazy. Now, at one point in here, the guy they had that was doing the miniature work, they ran out of time because the production ran over. And he had to leave the production and go work on the next James Bond film, and they brought in someone else. And you can kind of tell it's not, the quality's not
good.
quite there.
I wonder what Bond movie was it? Was it Moonraker?
Probably so. Yeah.
Probably Moonraker, yeah. I love Moonraker. Why did they make Moonraker? Because
Star Wars.
yeah, Star Wars, because they were going to do For Your Eyes Only next, and then they said, "Oh no, we're doing Moonraker." Because if you watch at the end of Spy Who Loved Me, I'm telling you, they were so lucky because they decided to finally start spending more money in the Bond movies again, and they made Spy Who Loved Me, which was a good thing because Star Wars came out that summer. If they had had a Bond movie with a small budget, that would not have gone over well against Star Wars. But they gave it a good sized budget, and it showed off. So I think they realized that Jaws was a big blockbuster, and that's where Hollywood was heading. So they wanted to start spending more money.
First movie to break $100 million.
Yes, I think they were like, I'm pretty sure the Bond producers were like, we have to start, we got to put some money into this. Not that the other ones were bad, at least the first two Roger Moores were bad, but you could tell they didn't have as big a budget as the ones that had come before. Look at this, though. Dam breaking.
Lois Lane's running out of gas right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I see that now. I'm like 2 seconds behind you, I think.
I've never been in an earthquake, and I'm okay with that.
We have hurricanes.
Does the Earth actually split open like that? Is that something that can actually happen?
I think so. Yeah. I think. I'm forgetting. Weren't parts of Los Angeles swallowed underground at one point? In that
Wow.
movie, The Lost Boys, I think they were in like part of a section of Los Angeles that had been swallowed underground. They were hanging out in it, the vampires. And I
Now
mean,
this scene with her getting buried is frightening.
everything about this. I mean, think about it, this is probably considered a family picture at the time too. You know, you have
Yeah, I mean it was PG, so it was I think that's the part that was the different special
yeah,
effects guy.
yeah, you can kind of
Yeah,
tell.
that part right. Yeah.
I mean, it's not terrible, but you could tell. Like I'm looking at it, I'm saying that's a model.
Yeah.
How well did this movie do when it came out?
Very well. This was it was the highest grossing Warner Brothers movie for a long time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And, it's like one of those things. They felt they were spending too much money, but in retrospect, they could have spent a little bit more and still been fine. But when you're doing it, you don't know.
You don't know how people are going to
Is
react.
it going to connect? Is it not going to connect? And
I mean, the thing is, I mean, Superman is an iconic character, and I would think that yes, that it was a safe bet probably, but it's
see, they never had a test screening for this movie.
maybe.
The first showing was the first showing.
I wonder if they were worried about if the effects would be convincing. I
Yeah.
bet that was part of it because if you think about it, the old George Reeves show, I'm not picking on it, but when he's flying, it's kind of like a static shot of him just flying across clouds and stuff. And maybe that's what they were worried. That's probably why they didn't make a Superman movie up until now. They probably were afraid the effects weren't up to snuff.
And the tagline on the poster was "You will believe a man
You will
can
believe
fly."
a man can fly.
And if that was flat, it's
Yeah, you're not going to believe it. Yeah, exactly. And the sad thing is, Superman 4. When my DVD of it did work, it had a great audio commentary
it's
track on it.
horrible.
It had a great audio commentary track on it. It says, and it's basically the screenwriter talking about how just everything that went wrong, and he basically says, this is the movie that will make you not believe a man can fly. That's what he says at the beginning of the track.
Yeah, this looks infinitely better than Superman 4.
And that was made so many years later, but Canon went out of the problem with that was Canon went out of business. And Canon was going out of business. They didn't have the budget that they promised the people to make the movie, And of course, Christopher Reeve was torn up about it because he was big on the project. So, and they got Gene Hackman back for it too. But and Margot Kidder, everyone was back, but it just didn't come together.
So has he pulled her out of the car on your version?
He has her. He's pulling her out now. He's hugging. Yeah, he's doing it right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm a couple seconds behind, and it's just
he's definitely distraught.
Is any music playing on your version at this point?
Yes, the love theme.
The love theme, really soft. Yeah. I think I did used to confuse Margot Kidder with Karen Allen though when I was a kid, because they do have kind of a similar look, don't they? I mean,
they do.
Yeah. Oh, Leia Plus says it came out at Christmas. I do remember the theater sold out for the movie.
How old were you when you saw Leia Plus Size? Not trying to get too personal.
I think she mentioned it. I think she mentioned it earlier. Let me see. She was 7.
7.
And I saw it when I was. I mean, this is one of those movies I grew up with that I just knew about. because like I said, I was born in '77, so I would have been like 2. So like they probably aired it on TV. I think I saw it on TV. That's probably how I first saw it. And like I said, for some reason, I always saw Superman 2 more. That was the one they aired all the time. They actually had Superman 2 on the Disney Channel a lot, which was odd. See, he can get angry. See?
He can. And you've got the dueling voices of Jor-El and Jonathan. Like, you cannot interfere. Like, son, you're here for a reason. And he looks at both of them in the clouds, and he's like, it's like he chooses Earth.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an Earthling at this point. I'm
Yeah.
not a Kryptonian.
Yes. Well, it's kind of the American story too. Like, you know, we all our ancestors came.
We're all from different places, but
we
we
all
come here and we're Americans now.
We're Americans, yes. Like many of us can claim European ancestry, but you go to Europe, it's going to be as it'll be an alien place to you now, because of course, especially your family's been here generations, you know. And I think we like Earth better than Krypton anyway, right?
I do. Do you feel like the flying backwards around the Earth is like a get out of jail free card?
Yes.
You do?
I'm gonna say this. No, I've heard, you know, you know why I say that though? Because they use it again in part 2. If he didn't use it all the time, or maybe there was a consequence to it. In fact, as I remember on Smallville, Jor-El warns him because he does something with time travel to save Lana Lang's life. And Jor-El saying, "Don't do that. The universe is going to counterbalance. You can't just save someone. Someone else is going to lose their life because of this." And that's the night Jonathan Kent dies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it was almost like there was a karmic thing, you know, like you can't just change history like that, do something like that.
That was in the Doctor Strange movie. Mordo told Doctor Strange, he's like, for everything you do, there's a cost.
And I don't know if we get a cost here. I don't know if there is a cost for him doing this. And maybe that's fine. Maybe this is the one part of the movie that's always bothered me, but I'm going to have people yelling at me for saying that, though. But
it's my show. You can say whatever you want.
I know I'm missing something here. That'll be a good thing for me to troll the professor with someday.
I mean, if you were him, would you not have done the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too.
And I think we all would have done that. I think to save a loved one, we're gonna do something. That's why it's understandable. But you know, but that can also be taken in the dark direction. Like, look at Mr. Freeze. He's trying to save his wife, but he's committing all these crimes to do it. You know, like his wife had a disease. He had so he had to freeze her, and he's trying to. I mean, Superman cares about any of it. Who knows? Someday, you know, if he's lucky. Oh, I do love this part.
Drops him off at jail.
And my mom has never loved like Superman. She thinks he's, and she doesn't get it. She's you know, like she'll like a character like Iron Man. She loves Iron Man, but like she doesn't get Superman. She's like, she thinks he's too much of a Boy Scout. And I'm thinking, what's wrong with this? We're all on the same team, you know? I mean, that's when I was watching the DC animated universe, I realized that the big thing that Superman does is not so much all the stuff he does himself, but the fact that he decides to form the Justice League. And when all the superheroes of the world are working together, eventually it's going to end up creating utopia on Earth. That's the impression I got, you know? by getting them all organized. We're all part of the same team. There we go. Yes.
Oh, we're off sync again
Yeah,
somehow.
it's thanks to you, Superman. But Superman says, no, we're all part of the same
We're the
team.
same team. Yeah.
He doesn't try to say, no, I'm on your side. I'm not above you. Do you understand? I'm with you, not above you. That's what he's saying there. Okay. And then there, look at this. Wait, this is iconic. Smile at the camera. That's awesome. I'm sorry. That's classic. And then we get the credits.
Yeah, he does need to be happy, not
I
brooding.
mean, yeah, I mean,
did I lose you?
no, I'm here. I'm just,
Okay.
I'm just listening to the music. Sorry, I got distracted. Richard Donner film.
You know, Steven Spielberg they wanted him to direct it, but he was busy with Close Encounters.
I think he could have made a good Superman movie, but
I think he could too.
I'm glad we got the one we did though, because Donner's a great director too. I mean, I'm not. I wonder what Spielberg would have done, but
I think much the same.
yeah, I think maybe tonally it might have been similar. Yeah, he would have been.
They got Guy Hamilton, who was a Bond director, but he couldn't go to England because he was in tax exile, which is like a big British thing apparently, because John Barry was in tax exile as well.
Tax exile? You mean you don't pay your taxes and you go out of
Britain? Yeah. They kick you out of the country. Yeah.
Do we have that over here?
No.
Okay.
No, we don't. We have wage garnishment and tax levies over here.
Okay, all right. That's tax exile. Is that something from the olden days? Is that how Australia got born? The people that didn't pay their taxes got shipped off to Australia?
Yeah, and the state of Georgia too. Yeah.
Yeah, Georgia. Oh man.
And then Marlon Brando couldn't film in Italy because they would have arrested him for doing naughty bits with a minor.
Yeah. But you do see Brando in the Donner cut of Part 2 if you want to see those missing Brando scenes. They're there. They restore them because it's Brando that basically. I don't want to spoil something. You watch the Donner cut, but basically the big thing is, remember when he gives up his powers?
Yeah.
Brando will give him his, Jor-El will give him his powers back. That means whatever Jor-El spirited there, it gets sacrificed to do it. So he can't talk to Jor-El anymore after that. That was the big. Oh, Leia Plus Size says, we're all on the same team. We need more of that in the world. I agree.
We do.
Oh, wait a minute. She made a point. Is this Leia Plus Size? Was this about the scene where he reverses? I thought that was a powerful moment to me. It shows that he's not at all perfect when I always thought he turned back time because he was angry. He saved somebody else, but he saved everybody else with the one he loved. So I had an emotional reaction to it. Yeah. I mean, I keep bringing up Superman, the animated series, but there was a scene where, like, the big bad of that series, which is Darkseid, after they think they've won the battle and Darkseid is leaving, he kills a friend of Superman, and Superman goes into a rage after that, and they make a point that he can be, they made a point early on in the anime series, never use your powers in anger. And I don't know if we ever quite see him do that in these movies. I think he's pretty collected here, but he did do that thing. Again, I don't know if there are consequences for reversing the time. It's a different story. So, but yeah, this was neat. I'd love to see them do a Death and Return of Superman story justice.
What all would that entail? Because I'm not a big Superman fan.
Well, the interesting thing about the Death of Superman story is when after he dies, 4 different Supermen show up, okay, and they're all different, and you're wondering who's the true Superman. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And it's like a reign of the Superman, and and I don't want to spoil it, but one of them isn't good, and it's an interesting story because it's like, what does the world do without Superman? Because I mean, one of the problems they have to contend with is that Superman dies, that's fine, but you still have Superman villains out there that were able to take him out. So what is society going to do about them? And I'd love to see them do that as like a mini series or something, or like but I don't think we'll ever see it happen. All right. So, how'd you like the movie?
I like the movie. I would like a little bit more film score of the movie.
Yeah. And I swear, I think
I still think it's probably the most perfect comic book movie. I can't think of any movie better.
I don't know, I like the original Batman a lot. The one with Keaton and
The
Jack
89
Nicholson.
Batman.
The only thing I can't stand about that movie was the having the Joker be the one that killed his parents, which was Burton's addition. The screenwriter told him it wasn't in the screenplay, and the screenwriter told him, "Don't do that." Okay, but I do love the original Batman villain. It has probably my favorite supervillain I've ever seen in a movie is the Jack Nicholson Joker. I think, yeah. I'm trying to think what Marvel movies I like. I love Spider-Man 2. That's an almost perfect superhero movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, Tobey Maguire is still my favorite Spider-Man because he could pull off the nerd, but he was also a regular guy. Like, I can see him as Spider-Man. Do you understand?
Yeah. No. Andrew Garfield was.
Yeah.
He joked around too much.
Here's the thing with Andrew Garfield. He's a good actor. I mean, I liked him in Hacksaw Ridge. I just, I didn't buy him as Spider-Man. Plus, I think my complaint about the Amazing Spider movies, I almost wonder if they were trying to go for that young adult novel vibe, like Hunger Games or something.
Yeah, they were
I almost got Twilight. I almost got it was an kind of an angst to it. And then now we have Tom Holland. My problem with his Spider-Man is he just seems too young. And I know Holland isn't young himself. It's just that it seems like he's perpetually like a freshman in high school now. I don't know, but I
don't want Spider-Man. I don't want Iron Man Jr. I want Spider-Man. Not
you want
Iron
Spider-Man.
Man Jr.
Yeah. I will say, Far From Home, I liked that better than I thought I would when I first went into it. I thought it had a decent villain for a Marvel movie, but yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where the MCU is going to go after this. I'm wondering too if we've hit peak superhero movies at this point, because Sony has their own Marvel movies they're doing, like Venom, and
I've never been a big Venom fan, and I didn't see the Venom movie.
I liked him as a villain.
How do you do him without Spider-Man? I'm kind of
Don't ask. You'll. They were rumored having Tom Hardy play Bond. I'm like, no. I don't know. You ever watch that Beyond the Trailer series on YouTube? That woman,
mm-hmm.
She did a review. She liked Venom, but she was pointing out nasty comments, and she was saying one of the comments was, Tom Hardy looks like a bloated Harvey Weinstein for most of this picture. And I'm thinking, you know what? Yes. It's like, it's just bad. And they said, I love all three MCU Captain America movies. Yeah, my favorite was Winter Soldier, but they were all good. I mean, I didn't have a problem with the MCU at large. I do agree with the professor that Endgame had a lot of issues with it, especially what they did to Thor. I'm sorry. Anyways,
yeah, I didn't have a whole lot of issues to it, but then last night Professor Geek was talking about it. I'm like, he was making some valid points. So I'm like, well. Yeah, you're right. He did kind of have the broken down arc already, and they're just kind of like redoing it. So
I think my issue with Thor, I don't know. It's just that you could only drag down your hero so much, and then people don't take it serious anymore. I don't know if they're going to fix it with the next Thor movie, but I don't know. Okay, well that's it. Anyway, if you ever want, this is a decent Blu-ray to pick up. And I do apologize about the fact that ours were not syncing. I suspect I have a different cut. I'm wondering if this is the expanded version, but it didn't have the same runtime as the expanded version, so I don't get it. Okay.
It's all good. It's not the end of the world.
Like I said, I think there have been 100 different cuts of this movie. You need to get the TV cut that's like 5 hours long or something.
It's like the ultimate Dances with Wolves director's cut.
They actually took scenes that they had cut out, and they say you actually see comedic scenes in it that don't work when they're elongated, but they're happy that they're in there just for people to see. I'm wondering what the Superman TV cut the running length of it. I'll let you know that in a minute. But this was fun. Maybe another couple weeks we can do another one of these. Maybe 2 weeks from now. Maybe if you're up for it.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me know if you want to do Psycho or 79 Dracula.
We should do a horror movie. Yeah, I'll let you know. But yeah, we'll do a horror movie. We do need to do Bernard Herrmann at some point because Bernard Herrmann is the.
If
Uh,
you want to do Psycho, I mean that works for
why don't
Halloween.
we do Psycho because that's earlier too in the month, and then we can maybe do
That's
maybe
fine.
maybe do both that and 79 Dracula. Then that'll
That's
do us
cool.
for Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Anything else to add? Let me find out that length of Superman TV cut though.
Appreciate everyone who came by or catches the replay.
Yeah, and like I said, hopefully they'll rewatch on the replay if they don't have time to watch it now. And
What's Fan Man tomorrow? Either live or recorded.
he's doing The Mummy. Unfortunately, I won't be there for that because I have a work thing to go to. But that's the Hammer Mummy movie. It's a classic. I don't know if you have access to it. Do you get Turner Classic Movies at all?
I don't have cable.
No, you don't have cable. Never mind then. Okay, but yeah, it's the Hammer Mummy movie. It's very good. I don't know if it's
Thank
streaming.
you for coming, Leia Plus Size. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. All right. I'll find.
What's happening Saturday night?
Saturday night is Saturday is it's another Carpenter movie from Troy. It's going to be In the Mouths of Madness, I believe.
That's right. Okay.
Yes. And I believe Sunday is me. Study hall. Okay.
Yes, you. What are you doing?
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Anyone who's watching this or rewatching this, please. That way you get notification and hit the notification bell too, so you know when we have videos coming up. So what am I going to do on Study Hall? We're going to be talking about different things. We're going to be talking about the Disney layoffs. That's going to be something.
That's sad. That's really sad.
Hopefully, it's not all bad news. We might talk a little bit about that Conan series coming to Netflix.
That's probably going to be sadder.
You think? I'm hoping.
I'm hopeful.
Here's what it is. I know that a while ago they were trying to get a Conan series on Amazon, and Amazon had a change in management, and then suddenly that series gets canceled. And I don't know what's going on with Lord of the Rings. I'm hoping and they were going to shop it around to another network. I'm hoping it's that team, because from the sound of it, they were going to be basing it on the original stories, and I think they were fans. Okay, I'm hoping that's what's going to Netflix, and it's not some other monstrosity. Okay.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I like to say hopeful. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, yeah, the TV version is 188 minutes. 3 hours and 8 minutes. There you go.
Yeah, wow.
Okay. Frankly, you could watch this with the Donner cut of 2 and you'd have like a big movie because, the Zod stuff is introduced here and then you get it in part 2. But okay. Well, anyway, thank you for having me, and we'll do this another.
Thank you for stopping by, as always.
Definitely, and I'm trying to think of anything else to plug. Monday, they're gonna Professor Geek and Troy Pacelli are gonna be doing a rewatch of the Dune movie, the original Dune movie. Okay.
Okay, the one with Sting.
The one with Sting and Kyle MacLachlan and
Captain Picard.
And Captain Picard, yes. Okay, yes. And I'm trying to think who else. And Rachel from Blade Runner. Okay, there you go. So they're all in
Sean
it.
Young's in it?
Sean Young's in it, yeah. She plays
Really?
his Fremen girlfriend, remember? Yeah, she's in it. And I'm trying to think. And then Tuesday will be a rewatch. We're going into next week already. Okay. And last one is Tuesday. They're going to be doing a rewatch of Dracula. Okay, so I'm not going to be there for that one either because I'm going to be taking it off during the week. But I might stop by there again for Son of Frankenstein. We'll see. But okay. But anyway, thank you for having me. And I think I think maybe Psycho next. Let's do Bernard Herrmann.
That's cool.
All right.
So 2 weeks from tonight?
2 weeks from tonight. Yeah, let's come back for it. Yeah, I don't think anything because right now work is not working me in the evening because the library is on shorter hours. So I should be able to do this for a little while longer. Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, next week. Yeah, I'll let you know when I can and can't do it. But yeah, 2 weeks from now we'll do it. We'll do it then, definitely.
Okay, cool.
And there aren't multiple cuts of Psycho, so we don't have to worry. Okay, so
One version.
one version. That's nice.
All
it
right.
was the 60s. Okay. Anyway, thank you for having me. You want to say anything before signing out?
Thank you, everyone, who's stopping by. I'll leave a comment below. I will be on next week with something, solo or with someone else, but check back by and adopt, don't chop. there's lots of dogs that need homes. So
Exactly.
take care, everyone, and thank you for coming by. Keep listening to great film music.
Take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, our last dog we adopted. Yeah.
That's good.
And we named her Scully after Dana Scully from the X-Files.
It's a good dog name.
Yeah, we think she was a beagle mix. Yeah. Oh Lord, I just clicked on this list on IMDb. Cancel culture is coming for you. Back to the Future. What's wrong with Back to the Future? Cobra. Oh, have you ever seen Cobra with Sly Stallone?
Oh God. have you seen the Razor Fist talk about the movie Cobra?
I think I did see his. I think yes, I did watch this thing about Cobra. Yeah, because I watched a series on Death Wish and a series on Dirty Harry. Oh hey,
man,
you like Dirty Harry?
I have never seen a Dirty Harry.
Okay, well we won't do it right away, but just sometime watch Dirty Harry, just the first movie. Those are the original like action movies. That's Clint Eastwood at his finest, just kicking butt. Okay, as Dirty Harry. No, I recommend just watch the first one, see if you like it. But Air Force One, the Brady Bunch. Why are all these up for the Joker? Cancel culture.
What's wrong with Air Force One?
I don't know. Did I have no idea. I don't know. Anyway, cool. All right, but yeah, another 2 weeks we'll do Psycho. I think that's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
You have access to Psycho?
I'll buy it. I'm sure I can buy it on Google for.
You know what I'll say? You know what I'll say too. If you ever want a DVD copy of something, do you have a public library card?
I don't. No.
Okay, because you can. Like I said, I work at a library. You can get one for no money as long as you're a resident, and they have movies. They have all kinds of DVDs in the system. So if you ever needed to just check out a movie for free, you could always do it that way too.
Okay.
So something to think about. But yeah, Psycho. We'll do Psycho in 2 weeks. That sounds like a plan. Okay.
That's cool. And then Dracula 79.
Yeah, I got to get my hands on that too. I'll have to see. I had it recorded once. I don't know if I still do, but because I know Turner Classic Movies, I think puts that on every so often.
It's a very good John Williams score. It's
an interesting take on the Dracula. It's probably the most romantic I've seen the Dracula character portrayed in a movie too. So, but yeah, we'll do that one. We'll do that one as well. Okay, so 2 weeks we'll be ready for Psycho. Okay.
Cool. Thank you so much.
All right.
Enjoy your vacation.
Yeah, thank you. And like I said, maybe I'll pop in to see how Green Lion Girl's doing. Bugger.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch over there real fast and get to bed because I gotta get up at like 4:30.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, well anyway, thank you again. This was a longer movie than usual, so
yeah,
okay.
Thank you though. You do very well on these. I think.
Great. Okay, I'll talk to you. We'll keep in touch over email. All right. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You have a good night too.
Okay.
Bye.